Tasty, tasty. Tasty, tasty. Tasty, tasty. Tasty, tasty. Tasty, tasty. Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, wherever you are, guys. I hope you're having a really good Sunday. I don't know why the tasty sounds so different to normal, but it does. Probably because I've been changing sound settings on my PC recently so I can play video games on it again, which is probably my own fault. Anarchy was first, saying hope you had a good weekend. Thank you, Anarchy. I have had a great weekend. I appreciate that. Claudius is here as well. Adam is third, but says first. One of those Adam things. Lace Keiko's here as well. Good evening, good sir. Jelly Master, Anonymous Biker as well. Blackbrook as well. He says good evening. Good evening to you all. Yeah. Avoid Media subscribes as well. It says good evening. I hope everyone is having a lovely weekend, and it is your sub birthday, so congratulations, Avoid Media. Thank you so much for being here on stream. I appreciate that. Just realized my phone's on stream. I should move that out of the way. Jellymus says, hope you and Jay had some fun in D2 and getting that sweet loot. Yeah, Chris, Blackbrook and I were just playing D2 before the stream started. It's been a while since I've played D2, and I've done maybe about 6 or 7 hours this past week. Thoroughly enjoyed it. Really glad to be back into it. So, yeah, excited for that. Tim's here as well. So is Sticky. Just a Grillex is here as well. Hope you're enjoying your dragon. Just a Grillex. Glad you got that. Tim, I hope your internet holds out. I know you've had problems with it this week. Storesness, thank you again for the 22 months of subs, dude. 22 months. Says, hope the plate works. So the board I'm building today, Storesness was kind enough to source the plate for me. He offered me one ages ago when the group buy ran. Said, would I like a carbon fiber plate for this board? I immediately said yes, and he arranged all of that. And he actually sent me some sweeties as well, which I'll show you in a minute. And I'm going to try one on stream. I'm under strict instructions. I have to share them with the rest of the team. So I can't eat them all, even if I really like them. Tasty.
So we'll see how that goes. JQ UK, thank you for the 17 months of subs. Thank you so much. Andromeda Keeps as well with 16 months of subs. Says, just a cheeky sub message to say that Jay is the GOAT.
I don't think that's true, but thank you very much. I'll take the compliment. Sticky also subscribed for 10 months. Moody Clouds is here saying a bias stream. Yes, that's what we're doing today. That's what we're building today. Let's see who else is here. Trojam's here as well. Robert Mikey, Winner says gets bragging rights for a week. What's that for? I don't know what that's for. No D&D this week, so I'll be on more. Fair. Jelly Master, thank you so much for the 100 bits. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Who else have we got? Chris Blackbrook saying SPC. Yeah, big up the SPC.
Tasty.
Quiet oh whoa. Evening Jay. Hey man, good to see you. Love my dragon. Thank you. You're welcome. I'm glad you like it. Whoa. Chat just moved around for me then. Anonymous Bike says hello Jay. Hey man, good to see you. True Blaze is here as well as Joe W19. Demotex is here as well. Good old Demotex. Was a clear out sale successful? What clear out sale? The sale we had the other week. Yeah, we just need some shelf space because we've got a ton of stuff coming. So yeah, maybe more later to come this year. We'll see. Golden Ratio also subscribed for 21 months. It says, hey Jay, thank you so much for being here. I appreciate that. Yeah, very nice crema separation. Hello there. Yeah, like this coffee came out all right. Like, I poured it a few minutes ago. Like 10-15 minutes ago now. It's just about to go cold, to be honest. Igbin Timothy, take the compliments, donkey. Don't disagree. Shh. Thank you. My Lottie Pony says, how's your weekend been? It's been good, to be honest. Yesterday, what did I do? Took the dog for a nice long walk. My wife made me go shopping, but it was to the farm shop, so it was okay. I did a little bit of DIY, not much, but a little bit. Couldn't play D2 because my PS5 at home had broken. I have a PS5 here at the workshop and one at home. The one at home, sadly, no bueno. Reached out to Sony to replace it. They're charging me £240, the princely sum of £240 to have it fixed. But other than that, it's been a good weekend. Today's just been a chill out day. We ordered breakfast in bed, did me and my wife, which was really nice. That got delivered. We had nice big sandwiches and stuff. It was really good. What else did we do? I think we just watched some TV and just crashed out today. It was really nice. Newfie says, hello, I was just grabbing a J2 on my Haribo before sitting down to the Sunday gym. Newfie, you spelt JO2 wrong. But yeah, JO2, 28th of this month. Not far to go. It's almost upon us. Look out for the Blackout edition. There's going to be some exciting reels posted on Instagram tomorrow. Thank you again, Tim, for recording those for us. Yeah, lots of exciting things. I'm also going to put up the... jumping into PT News now. I'm also going to put in the announcements this week, the preview listings for how the Blackout's going to work. So there'll be 2 listings, one for the Blackout board, and then also one for any add-ons and accessories and everything else that you might want, plates, PCBs, that kind of stuff. So I'm going to put those up so you guys can see how it works. Now, the prices will be all wrong. It'll be set to £1 or something, and you won't ever be able to buy through these pages. But it'll show you guys how the pages work. I'll have all the information about the boards on there, and you guys can take a really, really early look at those previews. So those are going to be posted later on this week, probably Tuesday, I think. Hopefully, I better make a note of that now. I've said it. How's your workshop yucca doing? Does it have a name yet? It does not have a name. Mel takes care of the plant. We have one plant. It's half dead. She's done a reasonable job of keeping it alive. Alive, not alight, alive. So yeah. Rico says, is that a prusser? Yes, it is. I have 2 prussers downstairs in the workshop room downstairs, the packing room. This one is printing something out at the minute. It looks like it's just got a blob of stuff in there, but it should be fine. This is for a friend, so it doesn't really matter. If anyone can guess what it's printing, I'd be very surprised, but I'd be also impressed as well. Who drinks coffee at 8 PM? I do, every week on stream. Got to keep awake through the stream. So yeah. Any of the D2 players in need of more friends to play with? Sounds sad, I know. I feel the same, man. Like, I struggle to find people to play games with at times. If anyone is in the Discord server down here, and you are a player of D2, we do have like a hidden D2 channel for people who are interested in that. If anyone does want adding to that, just tag any mod in Discord and send them a message, and they'll add you into it. That's fine. But yeah, we sometimes arrange little pickup games in there and stuff like that, which is good. It's hard to find peeps to play with these days, not like quite like in the Xbox 360 days. I think a lot of fire teams are already there, and every time the new packs come out, like the new DLCs, it kind of raises and then drops afterwards, so it'll be fine. It'll be fine. Breakfast in bed is the best. I agree, yeah. Breakfast sandwiches today. Bacon, sausage and egg. It was tasty. Will we all meet up in the car park outside PT and Jill for the JO2s? Prep my deck. No, there should be enough. There should be enough JO2s to go on. I'm not expecting like all 50 of the blackout ones to sell out like instantly. That should not happen. I'd be very surprised if it does. I haven't particularly marketed it other than on Instagram and on streams, so I'm not going ham. I don't want to try and sell like 200 of these. This is just to get my final vision, which was the original vision, finally done properly out there. That's all it is. I just want to make sure that happens. So I'm giving 50 people a chance to do so. Laser Bunny says, hey Jay, hope all is well. Was wondering how's the Cage and Delta 65 group buys going on. You can check our updates on the website. We'll tell you everything you need to know. Look to see where it is on the update site. That's where all the information is. If it's not on there, I don't have any further information. As soon as I get information, it gets put on there. So yeah. Starting to play now, still on the learning curve. It is. There's a lot to go on in D2. Yeah. Destiny 2, not Diablo. Yeah. Do you ever have problems with prints sticking to the bed with specific PLAs? I find I cannot get the Prusa Black PLA to print proper, but the cheap white PLFA of Amazon sticks like cement, no problem. I have no problems. This is Prusament that's printing now. This is the pink Prusament. The printer's generally really good. It's been turned off all weekend, and I just turned it on now, and I didn't clean the nozzle, which is why it's got the blob on there. But other than that, I never have any issues with it. It just works. There is two printers. There's another one stacked just beneath this one, and that one does have a blockage in it which I need to clean out at some point, but it's finding the time to do so.
Incredible.
Yeah. Fundle, thank you so much for the follow. I really appreciate that. Is a specific area tag a mod in Discord to get the D2 roll? Just tag one of the mods. Just tag one of the mods, I'll give it to you, or message one of the mods, I'll sort it out. JTKL? No, I did see one that's very, very similar to a JTKL in IC the other day, though. I didn't know whether to be upset or flattered, to be honest. I did see that. Simply sick, but I can't remember what it was called. Ethereum or something like that. I can't remember. Yeah, I did see that, and it's like almost exact dimensions down to how the JO2 works and the JO1 works. So we'll see how that goes. But we're going to do the JO1 Rev 3, I think it is, but we'll give it a new name, and we're going to do the JO3 as well straight after that as well this year. What espresso machine do I use? I use a Sage Barista Touch, I think it's called that. Sage Touch something or other. It's quite an expensive machine. Let me find it. I'll tell you exactly what it's called. Is it Sage Oracle Touch? Is that what it is? Yeah, Sage Oracle Touch. That's the one I use. So there we go. Right, okay, let's jump into PT news. Got any snacks for today? I do. I have some sweets that Storesness was kind enough to send with my plate for this build, which I'll show you in a minute. PT news this week. We have a ton of stuff coming this week. I think the next shipment's about to arrive, the next container full. It hit port last week, which means that at some point this week I'll get a bill for import duties, which will be 20-30 grand, something like that. We'll get that paid, and then a few days later we're going to have everything here. So watch out on Instagram, because there's a ton of stuff in it. The Matrix 8XVs, the Cage, there's some Zoom products from Mellatrix and Wookiee Studios, and there's a ton of stuff. Like Mel and Sharon, who work for us, they were going through the whole list the other day, prioritizing how we're going to tackle everything that comes off. There's also some products that are going to go in stock. Some NK key sets, for example, they're going to go in stock this week. There's just a ton of stuff. There's an absolute ton of stuff. So that's going to arrive very, very soon. So we've got a plan on how we're going to attack it, and you'll see that gets moved into the QC columns on the updates when everything arrives and we check it off the list. But it'll all be on Instagram as well, so that's going to be a really, really big thing. What that does mean is we're going to try on Monday to get all of the outstanding in-stock orders out. There was a ton on Thursday night, there was a ton on Friday, and there's been a ton of in-stock orders over the weekend. So we're going to try our hardest to get those out Monday, Tuesday, all within the three working day SLA that we promised for shipments. Once we get through those, the plan is to then just prep for this big shipment arriving, make sure we've got enough boxes on hand, make sure we've got enough bits and pieces around, move the black truck out of the way, get the whole workshop cleaned out, make sure there's all space and everything, and make sure we're just ready for the shipment to arrive. So that's going to happen really, really soon. We also got some GMK key sets in really, really late on Friday, and I think there's 11 on the way in total. So Lazurite arrived on Friday as well as Shashin. So we're going to get those out Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday as well. So those should be out this week. There'll be a load of in-stock drops happening for GMK stuff as well as all sorts of other stuff. So watch out for all of that. Lots going on this week, and lots going to go in stock, which is why we needed the shelf space. So please be prepped for that, because there's going to be a lot of stuff going on, and we'll share all of that on Instagram as we always do, fully open and honest. If you guys have got a question, just ask us on there or on Discord, and we'll try and answer as honestly as possible. Does mean that we might be a little bit behind on some other things, such as replying to emails and stuff like that. We'll try and do them within 3 working days as always, but please just bear with us because we're going to be very, very busy soon. But yeah, that's that news. JO2 Blackout Edition is going to have the preview pages posted this week with some more announcements, as well as some interesting stuff on Reels on Instagram, so watch out for that. Bion, thank you so much for the subscription. I appreciate that. We're going to be building your board in just a few minutes. So yeah, so lots and lots of stuff going on this week. Please do keep watching out for what we're doing, and bear with us whilst we go through this busy phase, because when we get these shipments in, it's literally 20 hours a day for 5 or 6 weeks for it to get through them. And the worst part about this is the next shipment's already on its way as well, so we've got like literally a 3-week window to turn this around, which is going to mean overtime up the wazoo. So I hope Leo and Mel are ready for it, but we'll see how it goes. It should be fine. Kish says, is JO3 the 1800 layout? It is, yes. It's like a CP 1800 layout that's coming on later on this year. The next one, as soon as we've got the JO2 live at the end of this month, we're going to get the JO1 revision into prototyping phase, because everything's ready to go for that. We're just going to order it and get it going. So yeah, excited for it. Excited for it. Are there going to be any extra freebies with the ISO plate? For what? Oh my young. I don't know what you mean. Freebies for what? Sorry. Right. Fnizzy's here as well. Hello, here for the bias. Yeah, me too. That's what I'm here for tonight. I'm excited for it. So many lovely things arriving. Cannot wait. Second Christmas, I think it should be. It should be, right? Will there be Matrix 3.0 extras? Hell poker. If we ever run a group buy at Prototype Biz, I can guarantee there will be extras. You never need to ask that question, because if we run the group buy, there will be extras. That's it. Bottom line, there will always be extras. Simple as that. Always extras. Never need to ask that question. If we run the group buy and we don't have anything, you can just assume we're going to have extras of it. Nice. Time for the usual dose of streamer build anxiety. Dude, like, don't worry. Chill out. It'll be fine. I am not one of those streamers who will tear things apart or anything else, but I'll be open and honest with it, so I'm sure it'll be fine. I've been looking forward to this for a long time, Brian, so yeah, I'm really excited for it.
Tasty, tasty.
Happy subscription birthday, Han Solo. Congratulations on making it to a year, your prototypist birthday, if you will. Yeah, congratulations, and thank you for the sub. I appreciate that. Fuzziest says, hoping Neapolitans will come in back stock soon. We have some on order. I know that much. Don't know when we'll get them. All depends on other vendors and shipping times and things, but we will get some eventually. So yeah, just keep an eye out for those. My sock is lost says, I'm banned from Geek Hack and I cannot tell you why, bro. Sorry, man. I have no idea. You'll have to reach out to the mods. I'm not part of Geek Hack. Which 8XV colours did you get for yourself? I can't remember. I think I got a lilac one for myself, I think. I can't remember. Neapolitans coming back, so yeah, they will be at some point. Omar, hello, good evening. Well done, good sir. Thank you for being here. Right, okay. So now we've done that, it's time to show you the other things I've got to unbox this week, because I do have a couple of things to show you. The first thing is from Stores Nurse. This is the carbon fiber plate that we're going to be using today. So he sent this across. It's kind enough to send this across. Check out the cool mounting system. We'll be looking at more of that later on. So that was the first thing I came across this week. Now that did come with some sweets. I have no idea what these are. I don't know what flavour they are. There's no English to check. So I'm going to try one on stream and see what they are. Under strict instructions to share these with the team. Oh, that's interesting. I wasn't expecting these to be like a tiered sweet, or like a sushi roll. Oh wow, those are so good. Okay, the team might not get shown. Those are so good. They're like sugary and soft, and dude, they're really good. Okay, I might chuck a couple of these in packages next week if you're lucky. If you want to try some and you order something, I might chuck a couple of these in packages. These are so good. These are really good. I have no idea what flavour they are, but they taste fruity. Okay. Okay, I'll share them with the team on Monday in our team meeting, and I'll put some in packages this week. Has the buyers group buy already run? I think so, yes, considering that I've got mine, and yeah, we'll see if there's going to be another one. Javanius, thank you so much for being here. Sunday dose of PT building, thanks. How are you on this fine Sunday evening? I'm good. It's ISO. Yes, it's for me. It's a personal board for me, Adam. It's going to be ISO if I can make it. Savage Goose, hello. Gouty, I think I saw as well. Hello, good afternoon, guys. Thank you very much for being here. They're an ancient recipe, rowan berry flavoured. Rowan berry. No wonder I couldn't pick it and know what it was, but they're really tasty. Really, really like those. Really, really like those. Thank you for the sweets. I appreciate that.
Incredible.
Judron, thank you so much for the follow, man. I appreciate that. I've got a feeling I've set the wrong file to print on the 3D printer here, because I'm just looking at the printer. That does not look like what it's supposed to be. I think I've set the wrong file printing. Oh well. Oh well. It'll finish overnight. Chris Bezic, thank you very much for being here. I appreciate that. Right, okay, so next thing to show you. I did get a new key set in. This was courtesy of the guys over at Daily Clack. They managed to find a set of GMK Toko for me. I haven't opened this up yet, so I'm going to do that live now and show you guys what this looks like. There we go. Whoops, I printed a spaceship again. Maybe. So I couldn't resist this, purely because it's an Agila set, and it also has UK ISO with sub-legends, which is really cool. Bias won't be run again, but there'll still be stock and event extras available at some point. Nice, good to know. I'm excited for that. If you have any other colours, I might pick up some of those extras. Okay, so let's take a look at this key set. Comes in the nice new GMK packaging. Here we go. Beige goodness, but it does also have, and this is the cool thing, it's not just got UK ISO in base, it actually has UK ISO with the sub-legends on. How cool is that? I do like all of these mods and stuff like that. It's really cool. Now, I was going to use this set today, but we're not going to use this set today after all, as it turns out. Even though this is really cool. I really like this set. Because we're going to put GMK Stealth on there. Who had a chance to pick up a GMK Stealth? Dude, it went crazy fast. Like, stupid fast. I was not expecting it to go so fast. This was an in-stock only set game, so this didn't run in a group buy. So this was by Agila, and it was only through Daily Clack, I think. So I messaged Daily Clack a couple of weeks ago when I realised that I didn't have a set, and I desperately still wanted a set. I tried for months to put off buying a set whilst it was in stock, and then as soon as it went out of stock, I realised the error of my ways, and I did message them, and they were super, super kind. And they were like, yeah, okay, we can send you a set. We have at least one set free. So I'll send you a set. Right, it's really warm in this room. I'm just going to go turn the heating off because it's really, really warm. Now, I can't do it from here. I'm going to have to get up and do it, but I'll be back in 30 seconds. Okay, there we go. Heating done. Stealth base, or with the Black Hat Alphas. Stealth base, but with the Nordic UK kit is how we're going to build it today. Right. I'm interested to know how Bion's built his boards, what switches he's used, because today we're going to be using that carbon fiber plate that I showed you before, which is ISO layout, of course. That's the plate we're going to be using. We're going to be using some TX stabilizers I did have lying around, so I'm looking forward to those. We're going to be using POM piano switches. And of course, we're going to be building the board as well. Now, before I build this board up, there is one thing less we need to do, and that's you guys need to pick a discount for the website today. So every week, whilst ever I'm streaming, we run a discount code on the website. You guys just need to tell me what discount code you'd like to see today. So is there anything in stock that you'd like to see or like to be able to purchase at a slightly reduced rate? Let me know now, guys. Post in chat. I'm going to set something up. let's okay, so I've got something set up ready. I just need you guys to tell me what products you'd like to see that on. Whether you want to see on GMK Zooted, which is in stock and ready to go. Zooted for 20% off. I can't do Zooted 20% off. 4.2% off GMK Zooted. I can do 10% off GMK Zooted, maybe. And that's me selling it at pretty much cost. I think. Let's do GMK Zooted then, as quite a few of you have asked for it. GMK Zooted, in stock, GMK Zooted, base. We have quite a few of these available. Let's do a 10% discount on GMK Zooted. Only one use per customer. If you've got any other codes outstanding from other things, you can use those as well. And that ends at midnight tonight UK time, so you've got a few hours left to use that. How long? What time is it? It's 2023, so you've got a few hours left to use it. Okay, let me save that. Set that going. Okay, and the code today is Streaming Party 44, capital S, capital P, and 44, all one word. I'll post it into chat. Streaming Party 44, and pin that. And that is for anything well, it's for GMK Zooted base kits, which are in stock right now. Let's have a look at that. It's only for the base kit. And this code will automatically add it to you.
Incredible.
Yeah, I have to be careful with the 420 stuff when I'm streaming. Don't want to get banned. There you go. That's the link to be able to pick that up. So if you guys are interested in GMK Zooted, you can pick it up. It's in stock now. It will ship before Wednesday this week. It's literally just downstairs from here. Yeah, pick up GMK Zooted in stock with 10% off using code StreamingParty44. There you go. Nice. Cool. Okay. Right, time to crack on with the build. You guys have got a discount. Hopefully you're going to make use of that. Post in chat if you make use of it. Post in chat. Prototypist.net down in the bottom corner. In fact, it's just here. Like, there you go. Prototypist.net. Go buy GMK Zooted. Right, so let's show you the board then, because it does come in this rather lovely packaging. Gotta love a big hard carry case. This is quite a deep one as well, which is good. I also like the detail on the stickers here as well, because it actually has the name of the board on the stickers. Sorry, on the zippers. There's BIOS on there, which is pretty nice. Bion's logo on the front. Let's see what we have inside. So opening it up, we have some cool stuff. The first thing we have, which is really, really cool, and Bion and I were talking on Instagram about this, it has a CD with it. Authentication Software version 1, Genetic Disc XE, PCM audio, which is full of tracker music and stuff like that. I haven't opened this yet, and I've actually had to order a CD drive from Amazon. It hasn't turned up yet because I don't have a CD drive in any of my PCs anymore. But I really, really want to test this out. So probably on next week's stream, if the CD drives arrive by then, I'll show you guys what this contains. But I'm super, super excited for that. Made use of it. Thank you. Well done. Trojo, congratulations on your Zooted purchase as well. So yeah, so it's there you go. Look how cool this is. Look at the logo. If you guys like tracker style music, there's a really, really good video on YouTube about it by a guy called Ahoy. He also does a really good video on Polybius and the history of video games and a few other things as well. Definitely go check him out because I love his stuff. But that's really cool. That's the first thing we have. Never seen that before in custom keyboards. The closest I've ever had to a CD before is when Future Crime, who designed GMK Zooted, which you guys are just buying, he sent me actually a record, which I might have to hand actually. Do I have that to hand? No. I saw it the other day in the office, but I have an actual record, an LP record, with typing sounds on it from Mr. Nathan Kim himself, which is cool. Yeah, it's very Y2K vibes on that, right? It's cool as hell. Love Ahoy, he's so good. Okay, then we have our first little pouch here with some stuff in. Let's see what's in here. Well, we have a PCB, nice green PCB. Bion's logo, ISO and NC support. There we go. Actually, I just realised, I hope I did buy a wing keyless board because I've realised the CF plate's wing keyless. So yeah, but that was the PCB, designed by Yankar as well. Yankar's a good friend. Always nice to see that. There we go. JST header is just here. That's pretty cool. What have we got in here? Okay, so we've got some foam in here, some EV foam. We'll probably make use of this because I kind of like the sound of boards with it in. So we'll probably make use of that. We have another pack in here as well, I think. I did take this apart earlier on, so I have had a look through here. Get these out as well. Show you what we've got in here. Right. So we have a standard AIO3 unified daughterboard. It is the C3 version as well, so it does have the ESD protection and everything else. There we go. That's nice. We'll need that for the PCB. We have another EV foam. Put that to one side because we don't need it today.
Incredible.
Nice little sticker. I'll find some use for that downstairs in our sticker lab. As bump-ons, we're going to need those. We'll keep those to one side. These are the gasket mounting system. So I think there's two types here. There's a yellow and a pink. I'm going to guess there's a difference in firmness, rigidity for them. Yeah, the pink ones feel a little bit softer. But if you've got like a they do look a little bit illicit. It's the whole 90s rave scene stuff though, Gary. That's what they're designed to look like, I think. If you've got like the specs on these, the pink's definitely softer than the yellow. I'm going to guess the yellow's around 50 durometer and the pink's probably 25, something like that. But if you've got the actual specs, if you post those in chat, we'll have a look. Another sticker which we'll find use for, probably going on our fridge. Like the fridge downstairs in the workshop is covered in stickers, so probably pop those on the fridge. I've had JST connector, always useful. A little bit of paper that we don't need. Some more of these. Right, and then in here we have an aluminium ISO plate, which we're not going to need. We're going to have another aluminium ISO plate. We have a polycarbonate plate. I don't remember ordering all these plates. We have a spare JST daughterboard and cable and feet. We have some more stickers, which again we'll get on our fridge downstairs. These are super, I love all the stickers; they're super cool. We have some screws for our daughterboard, which we're going to need. I have another sheet of EV foam, another sheet of EV foam, and another PCB. So I have enough to do like 2 builds with the PCBs, but I have enough like other stuff to do maybe 4 or 5 builds, which is quite cool. But there we go. We're really, really excited for that. So we can do a separate build later on. I think I want to do like a traditional aluminium top mount, like, well, not top mount, sorry, an aluminium vintage MX Blacks build for this at some point. So ready for my bias to arrive. Anticipation is killing me. Can I post the URL? Yes, sure. If you've got the URL, Gouty, to Ahoy's stuff on YouTube, absolutely share it, 100%. Are you going to be continually stocking the Geon Galatea boards? If they sell out, yes, I think they're still in stock. Don't remember the bias having a wing key option. I think they were all wing keyless in the public run. Might have remembered. Good, because I prefer wing keyless. I'll check the board in a second. There's one wing keyed unit I'm aware of. Yeah, I don't want that. Caffeinate, thank you. Yes, I need to drink my coffee before it runs out. Thank you, Bob. I appreciate that. Pink is 30. Durometer, yellow is 50 durometer. Thank you. I was close. I thought yellow was 50. I thought pink was 25, but yeah, I was pretty close on that. Thank you. See, now Zooted would work even better. Yeah, like I do have Zooted, my personal set to hand. I could put that on this board. Maybe we'll let you vote for it. We can vote for that later on. Is there a secret in the CD packaging? I feel like maybe there is. Is there? Is there a secret in this? Oh, it's searching for is there a secret in the packaging in my watch. Let's open it up and see. I haven't opened this because I couldn't use it, but let's have a look, because this is one of the coolest parts about this. Let's have a look and see what's inside here. Let's have a look. Reminds me of Aphex Twin design CD cover. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's made by like the same guy or something. Oh, that's cool. Look at that. Look at that. That's so cool. Did you make these yourself, Bion, or did you have someone make them for you? That's so cool. Man, it takes me back to the late 90s so much. That's really cool. I don't see a secret. If there is one, I've missed it. You guys can tell me. CD package is really cool. I did open it. There we go. Proceeds to get Rickroll just by opening it. Rickroll plays. Yeah, that'd be cool. I missed the specs on the bias. Is there an F13 available? I don't believe so. Open the CD. I did open the CD. Did I miss something in here? Did I miss something in here? Rip our internet. Gonna have to leave you to it. Oh, thanks, Tim. I'm sorry you can't watch. Stocking the Geon sliders in the future? Maybe, yeah, I think we're going to be stocking most Geon stuff. I need to put another order in. Stealth better than Zooted for this board, maybe. Can't you use your PS5? So the PS5, I could actually use a PS5 here, yes. I can't stream that though, but I'll look after the stream on the PS5. I'll try it on the PS5 afterwards, actually. I hadn't thought about that. No, I don't have anything to play CDs on. I actually had to order a USB CD drive, Bob, so yeah, I need to wait for that to come through. Is that an Eva on the left? Because I want one now. Could be. Seeing things like this make me miss CDs. Yeah, I agree. Right, okay, so that's the first part of the board unlocked. Let me show you what's in here. Because in the bottom half of this super cool carry case, perhaps I need to change the specs on the J series ones now, is the board itself. So let's take this out. I'm going to close up the case and let's get rid of that. But it comes in this nice soft cloth baggie. And Bion, I'm going to have to ask you who you got these made by, because this is super cool. I really like these. I just have cloths to wrap the boards in at the minute, which like the JO2s that we're about to do. But I really like these baggies. Slightly depressing that CD has now achieved a cool retro status. It is, yeah. I want one. Jay, please. I'll show you this board as it comes out. It's black. Black is good. As you know, I like black. There's the Bias logo. There's the Bion. I'm going to pronounce this wrong, but there's the Bion Lenja. Is that right? Lenya? Lenja? Let me know how it's supposed to be said. I'm going to guess Lenya. Yeah, because J's tend to be a little softer in European languages. Like, so the first thing I want to call out is, like, we do an acoustic cavity on the J series, but I'm intrigued to see how these sound. Look at these. They're like grooves underneath each row of keycaps. These are so cool. Yeah, is it Lenja or Lenya? Bion Lenya. Yeah, I thought it might be a soft J. Yeah, Lenya. Bion Lenya. Reminds me of the glare. Yeah. Super cool. Flip this over, I'll show you guys the base. I'm just going to show you the side profile first. Nice, clean side profile. That kind of two-tone look is just the light refracting off it, because there's a slight angle here, a slight hip here. That's not a seam, it's a hip. So you'll see if I go from here, this side's light, this side's dark, to there, this side's light, that side's dark. It's because there's this nice little hip on the side there. Let's see if I can show you guys that. Can you see? There's just this hip shape just there. That's really subtle, really, really nice. Okay, let me show you the back. Look at this. I do like this. This finish is pretty cool. Excuse the fingerprints on it now, but that is really cool. USB port is super tight. I like that. It reminds me very much of the similar one we did on the Lodestone prototypes. That's very, very similar. The other thing I really like about this board as well is that the base case actually has a lip that comes round onto this top edge. Bion's logo there as well. Look, recess. That's prime for some infill later on. And I really, really like this. That's just really nice and neat. And the cool thing is that it actually mirrors it on the front edge as well. There you go. And you can see that subtle hip there again. Can you guys see that difference? That's not a seam line. That's like a hip across the two parts. Super, super cool. You can just see that it's kind of angled up and then angled down. Super cool. Look at that. Super, super cool. Front edge just looks super clean. Okay, let's just lay this on here until we get the feet on it. Let's pop these feet on. Brian, if you want to use our PT feet for projects going forwards rather than bump-ons, let me know, because we already have them. I think it's something like, it's not expensive, but I can give you the pricing and stuff if you want to look at those.
Incredible.
Vyesu, thank you so much for the follow, man. I appreciate that. This is beautiful. It's so good. Kruger Live, such good attention to details on the board. Adam, I love it. I might let you borrow it at some point, Adam. I know you look after my stuff. Okay, feet are on. I'm going to put the old feet to one side. I think we're going to go with the soft mounts later on. We'll see how that goes. Okay, in fact, actually, I'm going to take the board apart before we do anything else. Let's see, what size do we need? Oh, slightly too big. Here we go. This is making me want to go back to a TKL. TKL supremacy. Yeah, I use TKLs pretty much exclusively here at the workshop purely because that's what I need. At home, I tend to use a 65, and well, at my streaming desk I always have the JO2 lately. The design just works so well. It does. Like there's a lot of small things that are really highly considered. There's some cool things with the screws that I want to talk about in a second as well. Things that I feel like we could learn from at PT. Pokemon Kid, hey man, good to see you. Where can you dispose of money for one of these? Speak to Brian. Brian, if you've got a link to your Discord server that you want to share in chat, please do. I wouldn't usually allow that for other people, but like for this, it's absolutely worth it. I have no idea how much I spent on this as well. I couldn't tell you. I could not say right now how much I spent on it. There we go. Okay. So one of the cool things I want to show you about the screws here, if you look at this screw point here, you can see that the actual curve of the case becomes the screw point. Can you see that? Like the actual screw curves round, the line comes up, it goes around the outside of the screw, and then it curves around the edge. That's super tight, super cool, and it does that on all four corners. It's just such a nice little design feature, because then the line kind of comes round here and then up onto this line here. It just flows really nicely. It's got like a super nice flow to it. Okay, taking the top off, let's have a look on the inside. Nice logo on the inside. I don't tend to like things on the inside of cases, but that's not bad. Nice touch. It is wing keyless. I can tell by the anodizing where this was made, I think. I won't say out loud on stream, but I'm pretty confident I know where this was made. There's no streaks on the inside, it's pretty good. No hook marks I can see. A little bit of fluid there from the machine when it was anodized. Looks like they actually use the hooks in screw points here and here, so it probably goes into the anodization bath this way around, which makes sense because the weight of the top probably there. Yeah, it probably balances quite well. Yeah, keeps it nice and vertical. Yeah, you can see there's a tiny little hook mark just on that side of the screw point there. Just a tiny little mark. I'm going to guess that's where they're done. I don't see any of the marks, which is really good. That's nice and simple. You can see the grooves cut out here for the grommets. I'm going to call these grommets. I don't know what the actual term Bion likes is, but I'm going to call them grommets. That just clip onto the edge of the plate. That's pretty cool. Take a look at the inside again. Well, you can see what I meant about these stepped ridges just for sound. I'm really intrigued as to how that's going to sound there. Again, don't see any hook marks. Oh, I do. There's a hook mark. Again, looks like they hang from there and from there. There's a hook mark there as well, so it looks like they hang these vertically as well. Most boards they actually do in racks this way around, so they'll go down into the racks like that and they'll have multiple boards, but these ones look like they've been done vertically, which is interesting. Not for any technical reasons or anything else, doesn't affect the board. It's just an interesting thing. Yeah, tons of machine work goes on in this. So it's not going to show on camera, but on these back ridges you can actually see the layer lines here. It's really nice. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. Now, when can I buy a brass base for the bottom of this? That's half a joke. That's half a joke. Right, let's get the daughter board put in, and then we can put the case to one side, and we can do the actual build. Where did I put the screws? There we go. Let's see what fastenings these take. Yeah, I was very, very lucky to get into this board, I think. I didn't even look and see what fitment these were. These. Okay. They're gonna be too big. Yep. Too small. just right, as Mama Bear said. Okay. That doesn't want to find the screw hole there. There is definitely a screw hole in there, right? Oh, it only uses the 2 back screws, that's why. I thought there was screw marks in all 4 corners. There isn't. So the daughterboard only screws in at the rear. And just takes 2 screws. I'm not sure if that's as designed or if that's just a machining error or not. Doesn't matter either way. 2 screws is more than enough to hold these down. There we go. Excellent. Love my bias for sure. Great board. It is. Okay. What's the difference, sound difference between generally between plate material types? It depends on the plate. So, and it really depends on how you use terminology in this hobby. So, like some people use words stocky and clacky and things like that. I don't find that those are definitive terms. I find that those are probably a little bit misleading. Sometimes it's really warm in here. I've gone bright red. So I think the easiest way I can say is that the firmer the plate, the more louder the sound tends to be, and the softer the plate, the more softer the sound tends to be. But it really depends on the material. So carbon fiber is quite a clacky or loud sound, which is what I prefer in keyboards. If you use something like POM or PC, it's going to be a lot more muted, a lot softer because their plastic's softer and it cushions the blow as you type on it. Then you've got things like aluminium and brass, and those are stiffer plates still, so that it just changes the sound as well. So, but there is more to sound than just the plate material. So the room that you're in, the desk that you're on, if you take the curtains down in the room that you're in, your board will sound different. So if you've got the curtains up in a room, if you've ever decorated in a house, you'll know as soon as you take the curtains down, the room echoes. Like for example. So yeah, it really does depend. There's a million and one things that can change the sound of your board. Yeah. Pokemon Kid, you have to suspend it somehow, so I don't think you can avoid them in some way. I guess if you put some screws in the hole and hung from that. I think that's how this is done. Either the hooks have gone into the hole, or they've had screws in the hole and wound the wire onto it. But you're going to have some hook marks some way. Like it's just always going to happen. There are some anodizers, and what they have is they actually have rubber bungs, and they can give you the specs for the rubber bungs, and the rubber bungs will go into like 2 holes that you select. But you need to be careful where you put those holes, because then it like needs to hang the weight correctly of the part, so it's not moving around. But they do put like rubber bungs in the holes, and then the wires go into the rubber bungs, and then they just touch on the inside, so like the rubber goes around it. This is going to look really rude, and the bung goes all the way through and touches on, so it's got the right so it can select as the anode. Yes, not the cathode. The cathode's in the water. So yeah, silly to have 4 screws holding a daughterboard. It is overkill. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I just didn't know if that was designed or not, but clearly it is. What was the pricing like of these? I can't remember what I looked. Do you guys want me to see what I paid for this? I can look it up, but I don't remember. Let me see if I've got my emails open. Let's see if I can have a look. It wants me to verify. No, it's not that. I changed my password the other day. Is that? Let me see if I can find it. Bias. I assume bias buy on. I'll find it. Nope. Let me just try buy on. Buy on Lenya. Okay, cool. Right, okay, so I ordered this on November the 18th, 2021. I paid $620 for the board, $50 for an extra aluminium plate, $60 for an extra polycarbonate plate, $60 for an extra PCB and daughterboard, and then $20 for a miscellaneous kit, which I assume is all the PE foam and everything else. The total I paid for this was $810, and then it had $45 of shipping included on it, for a total of $855 US. I did then get import fees this week, which were, I can tell you, £135.40. Yeah. Yeah, so it was whatever the dollar amount, the $855 and plus £135.40 into the UK. That was the total I paid for this keyboard. So it was not cheap, but it was a limited run, and there's a lot of work gone into it. So there you go. Yeah, like I be clear that's including VAT. Like I got VAT at the border as it comes in. I suspect what happened. I guess that was how the VAT just worked. Didn't mind as a US buyer. It ends up being fair in the sense for everyone paid about the same. Yeah, cool. The foam might be interesting to take a look at. I spent a while developing it. The foam, the EVA foam. Yeah, let's have a look. A bloody VAT thing is very painful. It is. Okay, so interestingly, we've got cutouts for all of the stabilizers apart from an ISO one. A little bit around where the logo is. We see it's cut out for the different parts. Clearly this is cut on the sheet. Cut off the sheet, and then it has the sheet applied to it. I assume it's got a sticky back, so we'll see how that goes when we put it on the PCB. That's pretty cool. Supports WinKey and WinKeyless. Oh, it's a composite? Is it composite? I thought it was an EVA foam. What's the composite? That's a Spenny board. It is. UK shouldn't have left the EU. Would have skipped the input fees. So Moody Clouds on that. Like, let me be clear on something, right? So my take on this, and this isn't like a complaint against anyone or anything I've ever had to pay for. But my take on this is, if I had EU customers who bought a board with me before we left the EU, and they paid VAT at the time of sale, when I ship it, they've already paid me the VAT. Therefore, they should not get any import duties. So the issue with that is I've already paid the VAT to the taxman. That's already gone. I don't have that money anymore. I can't claim it back. And if I ship the board, then technically what should happen is the customer will get import fees. But they've already paid the VAT. So it's unfair to make them pay it twice from a customer perspective. So from my viewpoint, everything that we sold pre-VAT to an EU customer, when we ship it out, they don't get import fees. They just don't get import fees. After Brexit, if anyone's ever bought from us at the EU and at the checkout they've paid VAT, they will not get import fees, even if we've already paid that to the VAT man historically. That's just the way we do business. We ship everything using IOSS. We have our full imports to EU and everything else all sorted out. So we have like a whole process for that and everything else. The whole team's aware of it, and we have like a process on how to manage it in-house. But so post Brexit, there was a small period where we didn't collect VAT for a small period until this was all sorted out. But now, if you pay at checkout, you pay VAT to EU, and then you don't get any import fees at all, none, to any EU customer now. So yeah, but the customers who bought from us pre-Brexit and shipped after Brexit, we had to double that. We had to stand that additional VAT fee. I actually sold a property of mine to cover that. It was like, I think over the course of it, it was like 50 grand extra in VAT I had to pay. But it was up to me to pay that, and I did pay that. So I made sure that no customers got it. That's my personal take on how it should be handled. But yeah. Right. Okay. So Bion, tell me more about this composite. Let's take a look at this. This is a composite foam. Let's have a look. Okay, it's not stuck to the sheet. I thought it was. Oh, interesting. It's a shiny backed foam. It feels like a pour-on, actually. In hand, it feels like a pour-on. I'm going to assume that that's not a peelable, stickable layer. No, I'm pretty confident it's not. But that's really interesting. So you're going to have two different features of this. You're going to have some sound dampening, and you're going to have some sound reflectivity from the shiny layer. Interesting. That's good, Jay. Didn't realize got stung last year by a lot of double charges from European vendors. Yeah, like I did personally on some personal purchases and things like that. It's pour-on with strong film backing. Okay, I did feel like pour-on when I touched it. It looked like EVA foam in the pouch. As soon as I touched it, I thought, oh, that feels like pour-on. But yeah, look at the backing. That's pretty cool. So I assume it'll just pierce nice and easily when we put the switches through to it. Wow, on the import fees. Dang those import fees. It's just one of those things. Living in the UK, we're all used to them. Super durable. Imported from outside the EU always attracted VAT on import even before Brexit. It did, yeah. Oh, that's cool. So the actual circle cutout is for the buy on logo on here. Look, there we go. That's pretty nice. Now, in terms of how we build this PCB today, we are going to use split left shift. So we're going to have to see how that's going to work for the switches. I think that's going to be fine on the foam. It's going to be okay as that. The spacebar is going to be fine because that's okay. The backspace is going to be fine because obviously it's got the cutout for that, and so is the full right shift, which we are going to use today. We're not going to split the right shift. Now the ISO enter, I think we're going to have some challenges with, because I think I'm going to have to cut out for that. Let's get the stabilizers done, and then we can figure out where they need to go and where we need to cut. Yeah, I'm not like complaining at Bion or anything for how it was handled. I'm not saying that I didn't pay VAT on this particular thing. I'm just saying in terms of customers who did pay VAT with us, that's how I handled it. And I don't want that to be like seen as like something negative against anybody else, because that's not how I feel about it. But I just want to be clear on how we handled it, because I don't want customers like having issues with this. Okay, right, let's get our stabilizers done. That foam is beautiful. It's really nice. It feels really good. It feels really strong. I knew as soon as I touched it was Poron. In fact, I think I know which even version of Poron this is, because I have some of it over on my desk. Not quite the same as this, but very similar. Right, okay, yeah, stabilizers. I was miles away then. Imagine what this board's going to sound like when we've done it. Right, okay, so we're going to put our stabilizers in the board. We are using TX stabilizers today. These are clip-ins. We have some 205 grade 2 that we're going to lube them with. So we're going to start off with the backspace, nice and easily. We're going to get that one positioned in place, and then we can use that as a reference point to make sure the EVA foam sticks in correctly. So let's lube up our wire. Taxation is theft, double VAT is double theft. So like the way I see it is customers shouldn't have had to pay VAT twice, which meant that I had to, because someone had to pay it after we left the EU. I still think leaving the EU was a silly decision, but it is what it is. We just have to live with it. Get far better health insurance for half the amount of your tax towards the NHS. NHS itself is a big fat scam. Now let's get this stream banned. I disagree with you on the NHS. Like, the NHS is an absolutely invaluable resource for the UK. Like, health insurance and the way that the US system works is not how it should be in my head. Yeah, I didn't want to leave either, Trojan. I think it was a bad idea, but it is what it is. The country as a whole made its bed. We now have to lay in it. Sadly, there's not much we can do. Okay. We'll go back and lube the slider rails later on. Everyone's entitled to their own opinion on the NHS, which is the National Health Service here in the UK. I think it's absolutely vital that we have it. There are a lot of people who can't afford health insurance, and taxes don't just go to the NHS. Taxes pay for a lot of things. Taxation isn't theft in and of itself if it's used for the right things. You can argue amongst yourselves whether you think it is being used for the right things or not. That's a different thing entirely. That being said, as much as I will refuse for the NHS, I do have private health insurance through Bupa, but that's because it's something I've had for a long time. I used to get it through my old employer, and I just wanted to carry on that. But yeah, I know my mother would never had health insurance, and she wouldn't have received the care that she did without the NHS when she was dying. So I agree, Kruger Live. Yeah, taxation can be great if it's used in the correct ways. Whether it is or not is a different question, and probably not one for this stream. Because we're here to build a keyboard, and it's a pretty cool keyboard. So let's keep that in mind. We're here to build a cool keyboard. Okay. We like keep. 100% we do. Lubing stabs and talking Brexit. First time for everything. I don't think this is the first time we've talked about Brexit whilst I've been lubing stabilizers. That's like, I feel like that's definitely happened before. I think the big thing that for me now though that Brexit has caused is trying to re-educate people who were our EU customers previously that like using PT is now no more expensive than it used to be, other than the fact that the shipping's gone up a little bit. Like costs for actual products should be broadly and roughly the same as what it would be from an EU vendor. It's just now going to cost us a little bit more to ship it to you guys because since Brexit, all the shipping companies charge more money to ship to the EU. But that's again just one of those small things that we have to pay as a price for it. But yeah, that's my biggest challenge with Brexit now, is re-educating customers that we can actually ship to EU customers without them having to pay import duties because they pay it at checkout. They are different. They're a different material. The wires are different as well. There's slightly different tolerances on the wires. Okay, now we're just going to clean the brush off. We want a very, very light layer of lube just on the slider rails here. Again, we're not trying to gum up the works. It's always easy to add more lube later on than it is to remove it. So this is just a really light coating to help it move up and down, not to actually gum up the works, as it were. So just a very thin layer. Just basically whatever's in the brush, in the bristles. Durex stabs make me cry. Durex are fine. You can get some good results with them. What is, in my opinion, the best stabs? My favourite stabilizers right now are the Owl Labs ones, purely because the wires are just so good. Like any other issue with the stabilizers you can fix with a bit of lube, but the wires are really, really good on those. I did test all of these wires in these stabilizers before I put them to one side as well. Do we pay import duties on any EU orders? Is it similar to the paying VAT at checkout extra? So if you're in the EU, Joe, and you're not in the UK, you will pay VAT at checkout and you won't get any import duties. Like, we'll sort all of that out for you and it'll just get delivered to your door, same as buying from an EU vendor. Just the cost of shipping will be more because we're technically overseas now. It's technically an international payment. If you're in the UK, you have to pay VAT at checkout. That's required by law because we're a UK VAT registered company. So yeah. Just a reminder as well, guys, that you can get 10% off GMK Zooted whilst we're streaming tonight. Code and everything else is in the pins, but it's streaming party 44 for the code. One night we need a stream where chat selects stab components from your box of stabs for your build. Do you guys want to see my box of stabs? My box of stabilizers? This is my box of stabilizers. This is be okay if we rest that there. This is my box of stabilizers. It's like a full-on Stanley Fatmax box, full of stabilizer parts. There you go. Everything you could possibly want. Wires, 2U wires somewhere as well. They're all 2U wires. Spare screws and bits and pieces, different colors. These are all multicolored ones. I need to sort through these. These are just what's spare after builds. This is all TX stabs here. They're I I do have another box similar to this for Alps. These are all mint and black stabilizers from Riki Studios. As I say, I need to sort through that pot. Those are all plate mount stabilizers. We've got some LEDs in here as well. Oh no, sorry, they're the plate mount stabilizers. Those are 1.2mm stabilizers. Everything else is 1.6. So yeah, got to keep organized. There we go. Owl steps are great. I'm a huge fan of owl steps. I think they're great. That's organized. I try. Right, okay, let's get these in the board. We'll put the spacebar in first. I'm just going to roughly line this up. Now, after trapping my finger in one of these the other week and getting a very, very nasty blood blister, I'm going to cheat and I'm just going to use a tool just to press this in. There we go. There we go. Okay, so it's roughly in the right spot there. Right, now we need to pop in our stabilizer for full right shift. So I'm just going to cheat again. I'm just pushing down on the back of the stabilizer. I say I trapped my skin the other week and it's made me a little bit dubious about doing that with bare hands. We're going to do split left shift, so we don't need one for that.
Tasty, tasty.
And then the next thing we need is we need one for our backspace. Let's pop this into place. Tasty, tasty. Who was that? Thank you, and Matt, for the 3 months of Prime subs. I appreciate that, my man. Thank you so much. There we go. Okay, let's figure out where we need to go for the ISO element of this now, because I feel like we're going to have to trim this. So, ISO is going to go here and here and here and here. So we are going to have to trim this a little bit. Do I have a knife to hand? I don't. I do not have a knife to hand, so we're going to have to trim this. Let's figure this out again. Okay, so we're going to sit there and there, I think. Okay. Let's trim this piece out here. And then where's the other one? Okay. I could do with like grabbing a knife for this just to be able to precision trim it. Give me 1 second, guys. Let me go grab a knife. I'll be a minute back and I'll be back. Sorry about that. I'm back. It's blocking the holes for the stab though. It is, yeah. Dremel to foam? Sure. Why not? Why not? Let's use the Dremel. Okay, so let's figure out where the holes are. I think we've got... just there? Yeah. going to trim that a little bit more. It's not cut through. There we go. That should be okay. There we go. Right. So that's the stabilizer for there. Let's get this line back up where it needs to be. There we go. So if that's the first stabilizer in there, the next thing we need to do is cut down here. Just like so. And then if we cut down here, that'll do. I just need to take a little bit more off of this. Probably just going to cut this across here. And then just pray that we haven't sliced into any traces, which I'm pretty sure we haven't. I haven't gone deep enough for that, but there we go. That's our stabilizers installed. The next thing we can do is we can flip this over, and we're just going to pop the TX Holy method in, which basically just stops these from popping out. I can't watch. Will the Winkeeler 7U1 require a GMK spacebar kit of a set I buy in the future? Wait, what? Jay's been mean about me for the entire time I've been away. Dude, I never have anything but positive things to say about you. Apropos of nothing, is there a first aid kit in the workshop? Yes, Adam, my insurance requires that there is a first aid kit here at the workshop. So don't worry, I have a first aid kit here. We also actually use ceramic blades because they're harder to cut yourself with than steel blades. They're really super sharp for packaging and stuff like that, but they're much safer on skin. Ask Mel why I do that. Strimmer loses entire arm in on-screen instant. If I could take off my entire arm with a small Stanley blade, I'd be very impressed. Like, that would be another successful surgery by Dr. J. Well, we hope. We don't know if I've trimmed the PCB here and ruined a connection on the PCB. I'm pretty sure I haven't. Mel, why does he use ceramic boys? How are the alpaca stabs, if you tried them? The alpaca stabs are pretty good. They're basically Duroc V2s recolored for matching the alpaca stabilizers. We've just got them on sale because we've got a ton of them in, and we just want rid of them now. But they're pretty good. Yeah, they're just a Duroc recolor, I think. Cool. Okay, so now all of those shims are in place. We're in good position now, which means we can start putting. See, this is where Bion stopped watching because he thought Jay's going to ruin my PCB here. I bet he stopped watching because of that. Right, this is where we can now start putting switches in the build, which is good. There we go. Plate looks like it works. I would love to work with Bion on a project. If he ever wanted to work together, I would be honoured. I'm sure he's thinking, Jay, please don't make me say yes or no to that on stream. I really don't want to answer that. Oh man, okay. We might have a slight issue here. These switches feel super tight in this plate. Oh no, that's alright. Let's just pop that back. He's like, Jay, why the hell did you ask me that on stream? Right, let's just make sure we get this foam all nicely laid out. Oh, see, I think we've just got that slightly twisted now. I think as I push the switch in, it just twisted the foam slightly. Let's redo that. Redo. There we go, that should work now. going to put a switch in roughly the corners just to make sure that we're pinning the foam in place so it's not going to go anywhere. And I'm just going to grab the foam out of the case here. The reason I want this foam out of the case is just so that as I'm pushing switches in, they're sticking in the plate and PCB correctly and not pushing into the desk. Pom pianos, yes, we're building with Pom piano switches today. These are lubed by Matt the Pokemon Kid, who I believe is in chat, for me specifically for my personal builds. Okay. I was more worried that I wouldn't have a 7U in my GMK Botanical, but looking at the beige sunset for a Navy QK8, open source suggestions. Botanical will have a 7U spacebar in it. Pretty much all GMK base kits do. I can't think of one off the top of my head that doesn't. Okay, nice fixed layout plate. Always good. I think we're going to have to do a little bit more trimming just around here. We'll take a look in a second when we get over there. I think we'll be okay actually. Okay, that's looking good. Let's go for stepped caps because stepped caps is best and it's the only way to build these boards. And by these boards I mean any keyboard. Okay. I'm just going to put a couple in the center just to keep everything aligned nicely, and then we can start working from the middle of the board outwards. Okay. Need some mini binder clips to hold the foam in place. Once you get a couple of switches in, like the idea is that you just put a couple of switches in around the outside. That should hold it in place. I think we've got a bent pin there. Or is it a switch case that's not clipped together properly? There we go. Okay. I've always wondered, for stabs in the wire material, do you think if they were made of another material that they would reduce rattle or stab noise or instability? So my actual take on this is, and it's something that I do want to work on, I just haven't had the time to work on it, is that I think that stabilizers could be improved massively through changing how we look at stabilizers. Right now, stabilizers are traditionally just 2 sliders, 2 housings, and a metal wire that kind of holds everything together. But when you really think about what a stabilizer's function is, it's to make both sides of the key go down as you press it, right? So if I press on this side of the spacebar key, this side drops down with it, so it all happens together. So pressing this side pulls it down because of the wire. What I actually think we should be doing is looking at something called compliant mechanisms. So compliant mechanisms are one-piece part that moves in a compliant way. So it has some element of compliance to it that allows it to move and flex in a certain way. Example of a compliant mechanism is tweezers. These are one piece, but as I press them, they move in a compliant way because they're pivoted around this point here. So they spring together and they come out. So I don't think stabilizers would work the same as this, but I do think there's a compliant mechanism that would work for stabilizers. I have a couple of rudimentary drawings that I've done of how I think it should work and how it should be applied, but I haven't actually tested them out in any meaningful way yet. But I think compliant mechanisms are the future for stabilizers. I think they will give us options that we don't currently have and change how we use them. And in theory, they should never need lubing because there's no traditional moving parts. It's just something that's rebounding on its own. A slinky is a great example of a compliant mechanism. And something like that would work super well for stabilizers, I think. The question is, who's going to be the first to R&D it and actually produce it? But yeah. Single part compliant mechanism, that's the future for it. Tell me if you disagree in chat. If I could go back in time and buy EPBT origami, I would. Yeah, sadly we've sold out of that, I think, now. Yeah, liquid metal is just a brand name. The early iPhone push things to open up the SIM card slot were made from liquid metal as well.
Tasty, tasty.
Tasty. Thank you so much, Catastrophe, for the subscription. 7-month check-in. Thank you so much for that. You're just 2 months away from a prototypist baby. Shaking my head. Tim stealing my ideas and drawing up some methodology without me. I don't know. Yeah, I think there's a massive jump needed in stabilizer technology. I think the only way to do that is compliant mechanisms. I've seen other advancements people have tried to use using magnets and stuff like that. Riskable had a really good solution with magnets, which is fine, but again, I don't think it's the ultimate solution because it needs work to actually get it to work. Like, we should have something that just clips in the board and needs no tuning, right? I think that compliant mechanisms would give us that. The challenge is making a compliant mechanism that fits in the same footprint as what we have today, because that's going to be the ultimate price tag for this. It's going to have to fit in the same footprint as what we have right now, and I don't know if we will. My Lottie Pony, I'm back, Daddy J. Thank you. Welcome back. If you call me that in person, I'm just going to melt. I think MKUK was to host the triple switch method for the spacebar. So the problem with the triple switch space method is if you press one side of the spacebar, it's not going to pull this switch down. So it doesn't actually work. It just rocks then. So it doesn't really work, especially on a 7U spacebar or a 10U spacebar. So the triple switch method isn't a good idea in my opinion. Like, it just doesn't lend itself to what the purpose of a stabilizer is. Because if you think about it, the purpose of a stabilizer is if I press this side down, it pulls this side down with it. If you've got 3 switches, like, that just doesn't work. Like, if I press one switch, how's it going to bring second switch and the third switch down? It's just not. There's nothing to pull that down other than the pressure on the keycap, and it's only going to bring those down fractionally, whereas a compliant mechanism would make the whole thing work. But that movement as well, up and down, is also why you can't have stabilizers housings that are super tight, because if you do, they start to grind and they become less smooth, they become more rattly, purely because you've built the tolerances too tight and it grabs on too tightly. So it needs to be a guide rail system, I think. But I have some ideas, I just don't have the time to implement them. Full palm spacebar press, yeah. Whack it, yeah. Or just dead center only hit, so you could train by having a 1U spacebar, just like a 1U key to train. AHL3, hey man, good to see you. I do not like co-star steps. I do not like them. Yeah, I've heard that you call me that at home, Lottie. I'm not sure how my wife would feel about it, but I'd absolutely melt if you call me that in real life. Right, okay. So that's all switches in. Everything's looking nice and neat and tidy. Let's see how we. Actually, yeah, there is a little bit of pressure needed to hold this all together. Let's just check and see if we've got any bent pins. I'm just going to go through switch by switch. Just make sure we've not got any bent pins. Make sure we've got 2 pins available for each switch. So I'm just doing a visual check here. Good to see that this PCB's got ALP support as well. Always like to see ALP support. But then it's Yankar design, so of course it was going to have ALP support. Okay, I don't see any bent pins just yet, which is good, because usually with the EV foam I find that I bend a couple. Well, this isn't EV foam, it's Poron foam with a substrate. Oh, we do have 1 bent pin on the backspace. We'll fix that in a second. Okay. We have 2 bent pins. 1 on backspace and 1 just up here. Let's flick these out. Let's see if we can fix those. Yeah, so that's bent. Just use another switch for now. We'll fix the bent pin later. That work? That one worked. We've got 1 on backspace as well. Yeah. Just check that worked. Yep. Okay. That means we're now good to start the soldering process. And as always, guys, while I'm soldering, you guys can ask me any question you would like about any topic you would like. And I'll be completely 100% open and honest with you. So think of any question. All you need to do to ask me a question is do @jprototypist in chat, then type in your question. It can be about any topic whatsoever, keyboard related or otherwise, and as long as it's stream safe, I'll answer it. I will be open and honest completely, even if it's something I don't want to say. In fact, the best questions are ones that you think I don't want to answer. Those are usually the best questions that people can ask. This is a personal border Lariac. This is one that I own. Okay, can't find the end of my solder right now. Right, is that it there? There we go. Cool. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to solder 2 pins very quickly in the center and then 1 in each corner. And the reason I'm going to do this is just so that I can make sure that everything is pressed through correctly into the plate and PCB, because I'm just conscious that that foam in the middle is just causing them to separate just a touch. So we're just going to use this as basically a locking mechanism. So I'm just going to do 2 switches diametrically opposed here in the center of the board. And effectively all I'm doing is heating the pin up and pushing the plate and PCB assembly together whilst the solder's melted, letting it go, and then it'll hold in place. And what we'll do is we'll just do 1 pin in each corner as well, just with the same thing. Give you guys a chance to get your questions in. So all this is doing is just making sure everything is nice and neat and tight. Okay, just a couple more to do. What's that one? Literally just heating the solder up, pushing the plate and PCB together through the switch, letting the solder cool whilst it's all fully tightened, and this is just going to hold everything nice and neatly in place. And it's just going to mean that when we come to the rest of the soldering, I can just really go quite quickly, not have to worry about this, and know that everything's going to be nice and neatly aligned. Okay, is there any switches I'm slightly worried about here? Just this one maybe. Just going to do a visual check, just make sure everything is pushed together nice and tightly. Just make sure I don't see any that are out of position, out of place, pulling apart from the PCB at all. Okay, spacebar is a little bit. Get your questions in though, guys, and I'll answer them all in a second. Okay, just going to do one on the top as well. There we go. Okay, right, first question. When are we seeing Lilo and Stitch? We'll go see that Lottie as soon as it comes out. As soon as the live action versions come out, we'll go opening weekend to see it. And we'll figure something out for that. Guarantee that we'll do that. Whatever the opening weekend. This is for the live action version. Lilo and Stitch is one of my favorite Disney movies, and it's also one of Lottie's as well. So we're going to go and see that when it comes out. Second question comes from Javanius. It says, if you didn't get into keyboards and open a store, what do I think I'd be doing? I'd probably be still doing what I used to do, which is project management. Incredible. Not Mystic, thank you for the follow. I'd probably still be in project management. That's what I used to do for a large multinational corporation before I quit that to do this full time. So I'd probably be still in that field. I did project management for about 15 years. Went up through the ranks, became a program manager. The world kind of changed and went to more agile methodologies, which were kind of like a senior product owner at that point. So yeah, I've got a lot of experience in that kind of world. Lazy Keiko says, if you were stranded on an island, which 5 SPC members would you like to be with? I'd have to rotate them out. Like, we'd have to have 5 come in and 5 go out because they're all cool. Anyone who's an SPC member is cool. So we'd have to have a way of like rotating them in and out of the desert island. Oh wait, we've got another bent pin. Oh crap, I missed that one. We'll go back and fix that in a second. Yeah, definitely a bent pin. How is the mystery 3D print coming along? Yeah, it's looking alright. I do know what it is now. It is the right print. It's just printing out opposite how I thought it would. I don't think anyone guessed what it is though. Lottie says, have you been to Disneyland, Disney World? Do you want to go again? I've been to Paris when I was very young. I haven't been to, although I've been to Florida a couple of times, I've never been to Disney World in Florida, but I would like to go at some point just to say I've done it. Yes, I think we're planning a family holiday there next year. I think. My mother and father-in-law used to have a place out in Florida. They don't have it any longer, but they used to spend every summer out there. So the whole family is quite accustomed to it. Next question comes up. Hold on, I think I've lost it. Hello, no question. Just want to say thank you for everything you do. Thank you, AHL3. You are welcome. Where do I think the hobby is going? Says Fnuzzy. In what sense? Clarify your question. I'm not sure what you mean by that, Fnuzzy. If you ask that in a different way or like something a little bit clearer, I'll be more than happy to answer that for you. But I'm not quite sure what you mean by that. Next question comes from Tim. He says, you swap wealth with Bernard Arnault. I have to spend his 220 billion before you swap back. Time isn't an issue. What do I do with it? Make sure all my family and friends are comfortable. Make sure that Macmillan never needs to worry about money ever again. Yeah, like I'd probably have like not like a commune as such, but I'd probably like try and make sure that I had like an area where all friends and family could come and stay, spend time with me, spend time with themselves and friends and all of that kind of stuff. So I don't want to say it'd be like a commune, but like something like that. But just in a really nice way, just somewhere that people can come to relax and chill out. I definitely want to do that. Make sure they never had to worry about bills or food again. But the biggest thing for me would be making sure that Macmillan would never have to worry about money again. They'd be able to give everyone a superb quality of life and do everything that they've been working to for years. So if you're not from the UK, Macmillan is a cancer support charity, and they are exceptionally talented people and exceptionally lovely people as well. Japanese Strat says, carrying cases of slightly large boards, TKR++, do you have recommendations, and are you planning on stocking some in the future? Yes, we're going to stock some PC branded ones. I don't have dates yet. Nufi says, if you like them, as it's Pancake Day on Tuesday, what's your go-to pancake filling of choice? This may upset some people, but I really like cherry jam, like a dark cherry jam, or like a conserve or preserve. That's what I like in my pancakes. If I'm doing sweet ones, if I'm doing savory ones, then I like ham and cheese or something like that. But cheese is always good in pancakes. So yeah, that's what I put in pancakes. We will be having pancakes on Tuesday as well, so that is the plan for me and the wife, to have pancakes on Tuesday. Just remind me, we need to fix the bent pin in the F-row towards the end of the soldering section. Next question comes from Raging Asian. Hey Ray, how you doing, man? He says, how am I doing? I'm doing really well. I hope you're doing good. I haven't seen your streams go live for a while. I hope you're still racing. Adam says, it feels like your streams are getting bigger and bigger and now break 150 viewers easily. How is the growth of the stream going? What would you like to do with it in the future? Yeah, so the stream has been getting a little bit bigger recently. I don't know why. It's still not anywhere up to where we used to be in the Top Clack days, which I don't think it'll get to. I do this as just an outlet for like a bit of fun. I'm terrible at socializing with people in real life. I tend to be someone who would rather work than socialize because I feel like that's the right thing for me to do. So this is my outlet for that. If it continues to get more and more popular, then I will just keep on doing more and more streams. Like if we regularly start to break 150 every week, then I'll probably just start doing like 2 streams a week or something like that. Because like I have enough keyboards to keep the build queue going, and I do want to bring back the workshop streams that I used to do as well, where we used to make stuff in the workshop. So yeah, those are all things I'd like to do. How did I miss that? We've been wondering why that switch wasn't going to work in a minute. What is your most memorable or unique keyboard building experience? Lazy Keiko, I think the first time I ever built something with brass plates and holy pandas, I ended up with massive blisters on my thumbs from doing it. That was back in the old J Keebs channel. So that was probably my biggest memory, because I remember struggling at work the next day to like hold a pen because my thumbs just had massive blisters under the skin from them. That's probably my weirdest memory in that respect. Akela Aleka says, are you designing any new boards, and can you give any hints to what they might be? Yes, so we've got the J01 revision coming soon, which is basically taking the J01 back to its roots, pretty much like we have done with the J02 Blackout edition that's coming very soon as well. After that, we've got the J03 coming. The design for these is already done. We just need to start producing the boards and do prototyping and stuff. After the J03, which is an 1800 FRL TKL, I do have some other projects in plan. I'm working with some people on a really cool project. Josh and Tom, Bomtans, who's in stream now, who's just been given the gift sub, ironically, just as I was mentioning him. Thank you so much, Demotex. We're working on a really cool project, which we're not ready to share yet. That won't be for something publicly for sale, but it's something for us three that's just super duper cool. I do have some other plans for PT branded designs. I kind of have like a mood board that I keep all of my design inspiration ideas and stuff like that, but I'm not a particularly creative person personally, so I tend to struggle with that element of it, and time is always against me as well. But yeah, absolutely, there's a load more stuff coming from PT in the design space in the near future. We're also working with some really cool designers recently on some other projects, such as Sumi and a few others that are coming pretty soon as well. Next question. What would Jay's coffee shop be called if it existed? Vintage Kish, I think it is going to happen at some point. It's something I'm actively looking into, is opening a coffee shop. Not to tie it in with keyboards, just because it's something I want in my life, is a coffee shop. It would probably be called Java J. Pun on Java Joe's, and that's really bad because there's a coffee shop around the corner called Java Joe. But yeah, Java J's. If that coffee shop around the corner ever goes up for sale, I'm going to buy it. Like, that is 100% going to happen. It would be something I would do. Gouty didn't tag me, but he did ask, if you were a ghost, what is the first thing you'd do with your ghostly powers? I would come and haunt you for suggesting that one, Gouty. Yeah. What kind of coffee beans would I serve? In my fantastical coffee shop, I would serve magic coffee beans that tasted instantly like what anyone wanted out of a coffee. Real answer though, I don't know. I think I'd probably have to work with a roastery to come up with some sort of signature blend, which would be really fun. I actually did start speaking to a local brewery, local coffee bean roasters about doing some PT branded coffee, but the cost just came out astronomical, and I haven't really found a way to make it work other than rebranding one of their existing beans or composites of beans. So it kind of stalled at that point, but it is something I want to do. But yeah, I'd have to work with something. Tasting notes would probably be something along the lines of a caramel, chocolatey type coffee, something like that for the standard one. I'd probably want to do like a light roast and a dark roast and have both as choices in the coffee shop. It's probably where I'd want to go with it. But it is something I actively want to do. Is it a space rocket? It is a space rocket, yes, that I'm 3D printing. If you were stuck on the island and you could only take one album with you, while you're taking Now 97. Now 97, that's what I'm going to take. Can we be part of the family for the holiday? Sure, why not? Adam says, have I ever gone camping? Did I like it? I have been camping precisely one time in my life, like proper camping in a tent, one time in my life. And that was when I was in the Boys Brigade, which is kind of like a Methodist version of Scouts. And I hated it. Like, I was 11 or 12 at the time, and I absolutely detested it. Oops, there's no switch there because we're doing ISO, not NC. I absolutely detested it. I ended up getting brought back after the second night because I just couldn't sleep. I was tired and I was exhausted. it wasn't for me. I'll be honest. I think I'd be better with it now. But yeah, the closest I've come to camping since is like an RV style camping experience, and glamping we've done a few times as well. So yeah, that's close I've been to that. What boards are you most excited to add to your personal collection this year, if any? I'm hoping I get a win on the Pink Jane.
Tasty, tasty.
Tasty. Comdata, thank you so much for the subscription, man. I really appreciate that. I'm also really excited to get what I see as the final version of the JO1, which is what I wish we'd have been able to do with the JO1 way back when in 2017 when we first started to make that board, which Josh has helped me realize through some changes to the design and a multitude of other things. So those are the two big things that I'm looking forward to at the minute, but whether I get a win on the Pink Jane or not always remains to be seen. I'm not even sure when they're announcing that. I haven't checked my emails all weekend, so I don't know when the winners of that are announced. In terms of other boards I'm excited for, what else am I excited for? There must be something. I'm excited for the new Matrix Magic boards, the Magic 60 and the Magic 80, the TKLs, and the 60%. I'm really excited for those. I'm hoping that PT will be able to offer them for UK and EU customers. That's something I'm trying to work through with Albert at the minute. It's such a tough question to answer. Like, there's so many good boards. Yeah. I don't know. Ask me every week, I'll give you a different answer. Pragmatism says, do you think Finland actually exists? If so, where? Yeah, it's up that way. It does exist, yeah. I've been to Finland once, not for a very long time, for a very, very, very short trip. I think I was there for less than a couple of hours because it was on the way to somewhere else. But yeah, Finland definitely exists. Okay, and that's the soldering done. Let's get through the rest of the questions here, because I think there's a few more. I'll just flip over to the camera and we'll go through these quite quickly. What's the next innovation in keyboards? Lasers? No, I don't know. Next innovation in keyboards. Like, there's going to be so many, and it's hard to say. I do think it's going to be the stabilizers. I think compliant mechanisms and stabilizers is the next big breakthrough to make. I think it really is. Are you familiar with the Polish tradition of Fat Thursday? It's like the concept of Pancake Day, but it happens on Thursday, just done. No, I'm not, but Kish, we need to talk. We need to talk about this, because I am absolutely interested in that. Tuna sweet corn underrated pancake? No. If your knees went backward, like an ostrich's, what would chairs look like? Like chairs do, but backwards. Me, you, Chris, podcast. Yes, we can do it remote too, as I think it would be hilarious. I would love to do a podcast with you guys. Absolutely love to do it. Guest each time, random topic each time. 100%, I'm down. Yeah, 100%. To ask a more precise question, do you think the hobby is getting more separated? I feel like smaller run projects and DIY aspects are becoming... Wait, what happened? Are we still live? What happened there? My PC just turned off and came back. Sorry, so Funizzy says, to ask a more precise question, do you think a hobby is getting more and more separated? I feel like smaller run projects and DIY aspects are becoming their own niche, whereas in the past that was the main aspect. So I think what we're actually seeing, I don't know how long you've been in the hobby, but I've been in the hobby for about 10 years now. Everything used to be these small private run projects. Like, people used to complain, oh, I didn't get invited to this private group buy and blah, blah, blah. And there were all these tiny little projects that were happening. So the first round of the JO1 is an example of this. We did 17 boards, just 17 of them. And there was all these small projects happening all over the place. And they were happening on Geek Hack, Authority, all random places. There was no way to keep track of them all. And someone would go, oh, look at this cool board I've got. And they'd post pictures on Reddit. And there was like 10,000 people on the Reddit at the time. And they'd be like, oh, cool, where the hell did that come from? Never knew about it. So that's where the hobby started. And then as it just started to become more mainstream across 2017, 2018, 2019, 2020, 2021, we started to see that these became more large-scale group buys. So exactly from my history, JO2, we ran that with Canon Keys, and it was quite a big group buy overall, and so on and so forth. And we see all these big group buys now from Melatrix and Zoom, and like the Zoom TKLs, and we see them from the JRIS, for example, and all these other things. And we've kind of gone to this big stage. I think what's happening is all of the hobbies doing is those really, really passion project boards like the JO2 is to me, which is why we're only doing 50 units for the blackout. It's a passion project, so it's something I want to do for me, and it just might as well make 50 of them because it makes it a little bit cheaper. We're just seeing more of those passion projects happen, and some of those will come to fruition and become group buys, or some of them will be small run projects like the bias with Bion and everything else. I think all we're seeing is we're just seeing that come back again. So there's all these small circles of people thinking, I want to do something for me. I have a passion project I want to make. And what we're seeing is we're just seeing those happen alongside the big mainstream stuff now. So yeah, that's all it is. I don't think it's necessarily changing as such. For me, I think the hobby is just going back more to its roots, which is all of those small passion projects, and that's only ever going to be a good thing. Okay. This is the real question right here. Chairs would just be the same but backwards. As simple as that. Like, simple as that. They'd just be backwards. Just turn the chair around. That's exactly what it'd be like. You'd just sit with the front and you prop your front up, and you'd have the chair against your front, like, because you need to go the other way. I'm assuming your hips would go the other way as well, because they'd have to. Is there a greater philosophical tragedy than the loss of innocence? No. If I could rant about any aspect of the hobby in a safe space with no repercussions, or if you could with no repercussions, what would it be? I don't know. I don't really have many great, gripes with the hobby. I think people should sometimes think before they speak on certain things. Opinions are fine and good, but opinions shouldn't necessarily negatively hurt other people. That's the only thing I'd have an issue with. How long do I estimate the JO2 sells out when it goes live? I don't think there's like a huge demand for it. The market's not what it was in 2020 or whatever it was when we ran the JO2, 2019 when we ran the JO2. Previously, I think that 50 units is absolutely fine and fair for the market as it stands today. I think it'll last a couple of weeks. Javanius, have you ever leaked something you weren't supposed to? If so, what was it? I don't think so. I think I talked about things on Top Clack before I was supposed to, but not leaks as such, more just kind of like theories or happenings or hints about what to watch for. I don't think I've ever broken like an NDA or anything. If I have, no one's told me I have. Sumi's cancelled? No, Sumi's not cancelled. Having a coffee shop is my dream. True. Have I ever sharted? No, I never have. I've only ever had one incident that was even close to that when I went for a run and I had to dive in some bushes, but we don't talk about that. Races Donington Park, yay or nay? Personally not a fan. In real life it's good. So I've driven at Donington Park a couple of times. In real life any track's good though there, right? Because you're there physically. It's a great track. Like coming up the crest to the right hander after you've gone through the weavy bit, the kinky section is the kink section. I can't remember what it's called. It has a name, I've forgotten it. But anyway, you come up and there's a right hander at the top and it's blind crest. It's a great track to drive. You can't see it, and there's a gravel pit straight after. Like you just 9 times out of 10 people go to that track at least one lap they're going to go straight over because they missed the turn. Blind turns are great. Coffee would need to be pink. No, but the cups would be. Can't do coffee, but could help with a PT branded AF beer. That sounds good. We could definitely do that. I just said those, so it was my coffee beans. Nice. I was in the boys brigade one. I was in the boys brigade for. We were probably there at the same time. If you ever went to any of the big like UK wide meetups, Tim, we may have been there together. Right. What are my top 3 TKLs? Hard to say. This might be one of them. We'll see at the end of the stream. How can you know it actually exists if you're only there for a short moment? How do you know it wasn't Sweden or Russia? Because it was a Finland airport that I was in. It was like a Finnish airport. Did I fix the bent pin on the F-row? No, I didn't. Thank you. Bent pin on the F-row. I did tell you guys to remind me, and only one of you did. Bent pin on the F-row. Yeah. Adam, you are a saviour and a saint. Bent pin on the F-row. I did say, tell me to fix it, guys. And none of you did. Come on, how about you come switch? There we go. Bent pin on the F-row. And you lot forgot. Now I bent the other pin. Okay. I'm not sure if I'm allowed to say that word on stream or not, actually. But rip. Wait, was it that one? Wait, which was it? This one. Yeah, now I bent the other pin. Crap on a cracker. Oh, I just bent it again. Okay, I'm gonna need another switch. Let me just grab another switch. I'll be 2 seconds. There we go. This very keyboard is from Finland. Yeah, it certainly is. Well, I think it's from designed in Finland and shipped from Finland, but manufactured elsewhere. There we go. Right. Now we can solder that. Thank you, Adam. And if anyone else mentioned it and I've missed you, thank you. Cool. Done. Oh, Jellymaster as well. He said it actually before Adam. Jellymaster, I'm sorry, I've done you a dirty there. I apologise. Right, okay. There we go. Right, questions. Let's get through the rest of them and then we can carry on with the build. You've got a Mega Super Luxor tent. Nice. You can camp out in the PT headquarters. Maybe we should do that. Get a load of mattresses and just have people come and stay in the PT workshop. That'd be quite cool. Have you ever designed or collabed on a key set before? If not, would you? I have, yes. I did GMK Midnight Rainbow, and that's coming back with Daylight Rainbow as well at some point soon. I've also designed about 5 or 6 other key sets that have not been released yet, but they might do. Oh boy, you've not lived until you've shouted in a queue to a coffee shop. Well, maybe when I have a coffee shop, you can show me what that's like, Tim. Did loads of big meetups. I was on parade at Goodwood. Yeah, I went to Goodwood. This would have been like 1999, something like that. 2000 maybe. Maybe before that. Blast and Bollerations was shouting at my screen, but nothing was happening. Petitions to rename the SPC channel to Kinky Section. No. Partial Patrick, how you doing, man? Good to see you. Right, okay, so we've now soldered the board. The next job is to put on the little rubber mounting points and pop it in the case, and then we can screw the case together, and then we can pick a keycap set. Let's flick back over the cameras. There we go. Okay, so now we've got the board built and soldered. We're going to take these. Let's use the pink ones because I like pink. Yeah, if you've got some pictures, Tim, I'd love to see them. Unfortunately, I don't have pictures of that era of my life. Sadly, they were lost after my mum died, but if you have them, I would love to see some. Never know, you might see me in them. Camp out in the PT workshop. Yeah, we could do that. We could do a little camp out in the PT workshop. Oh man, I like how these sit. These sit nice. Wait, are they supposed to be the big bits on the top or the big bits on the bottom? Let's have a look inside the case. Let's have a look. Ah, yeah, so got these the wrong way around. There we go. So that one goes the other way. Nice. So there's a little design thing here. So these are cut off on one side. If you can see, the base of them is larger than the top, and the reason for that is so that they actually sit and you can get the keycaps on the switches without it coming around the side. Clever. I like that a lot. Which just means they're directionally orientated, that's all. That's some good attention to detail. Wait, are we short? No. Okay, pink bits installed. What are those little macaroons? They're basically the mounting points. They're very similar to Geon's tadpoles or gasket mount points, but they're pretty cool. Just gonna make sure these are all straight and square. Looks good. Cool. Okay, we can take away the foam now. Perlin's been ironing. Nice. Okay. So first things first, let's get the base into position. And then once the base is in position, we're going to plug in the JST cable into the PCB. So I appreciate you guys can't see this, but I'm just literally plugging the JST cable into the the PCB to connect everything up. And then I'm going to lay that down nice and neatly into its position. And you can see that we can use the milled grooves in the case to align everything up nicely. That's looking good. It feels like it's sitting on the wire a little bit actually. Yes, there we go. So all I did was reach under, just took the wire into its little groove. That's now sitting much better. Then we can take the top case, we can drop the top case on, and this should, in theory, align everything up nicely. There we go. Just going to pop this back down for some cover. Going to flip the board over, and then now we can screw it back together. Have you ever been to Knock Hill? I have been to Knock Hill, yes. I raced caterhams at Knock Hill with a friend once, a long time ago. Skittles mount. I wanted to make the most easy assemble gasket mount, but this was only the only compromise. So I don't know if you've seen how we've done the JO2 Bion, but we've effectively got a single injection molded gasket piece that fits all the way around the PCB and plate assembly. So it's effectively like a double O-ring, but it's actually custom molded to the plates and to the inside of the case. And we actually use some of the screw mounts from the inside of the case to align that as well, so they become the alignment method. So it means that there's less machining to be done and just one particularly proprietary part. Okay, so we're just going diametrically opposed for the screws just to make sure everything's nice and even and that the case pressure is shared evenly. Self-centering. Yep. Flying through the chicane at Knock Hill in a KTM sounds terrifying. Yeah, I mean, I'd go faster in a video game than I did in real life, I'm sure, but it's a good experience. Look how good that weight looks. Okay, that's the board all screwed back together. It's looking super cool. Look at that. It does look really good. You can just see the hints of the pink bits just peeking through in places. That's really nice. The next job is to give this a test to make sure all the keys are working. Given how long we've been streaming, if it's not, I'm going to fix it after the stream, but I'm pretty sure we'll be alright. Let's see. I assume this is VIA compatible, so in fact, actually, let's use Switch Hitter because I don't like using the browser version of VIA on stream. So, let's plug in the USB-C cable. There we go. Okay, let's just see if anything's working on this. Skate works. Looks like we're good on the F-row. Looks like we're good there. Arrow keys all working.
Incredible.
I just realised we've got ANSI layout. Hold on, let's flick that over to an ISO layout. Incredible Housefly, thank you so much for the follow. Right, let's catch up to where we were. F7 is working, I'm sure. Yep. There we go. Right. Okay. Now we've got an ISO layout. We can test this. Looking good. Caps lock's all working. Shift's all working. Oh, V's not working. Okay. If it's just one key, we can come back and fix the one key. Is V definitely not working? Oh. Chatter in the switch. I think we need to replace that switch. Okay. Hold on. Let me clear and reload that. Let's try again. Okay, no, it seems to be working fine now. No chatter, seems to be working fine. Whatever it was. Glitch in the system. That's all working just fine now. Okay, so the board works great. Perfect. Okay, so now it means it's time to pick some keycaps for this. Now you guys can pick between
Incredible.
the incredible. Thank you, Abukaza, for the follow. You pick between two keycap sets for this board today. We have GMK Stealth and we have GMK Zooted. Let me grab those two out for you. I'm hoping that one of the mods is able to make a poll really, really quickly so you guys can vote. Mods, Adam. Who else is mod? No, Adam's not mod. Blackbrook, Tim, Omar, if he's still around. the first option is GMK Zooted. Here's the colours. GMK Zooted, that's there. The second option is GMK Stealth. There you go. GMK Stealth or GMK Zooted. The poll will be up now. You guys can vote for what you want to do. Ugh. Deep well. I don't have my deep well set to one hand at the minute. Zooted or Stealth, those are your two choices. I have voted. I'll veto for vintage die subs. So I think ultimately this board might end up with some vintage die subs on it, but for today, we're just going to pick one of these two keycap sets. Planning on taking Lottie on a wee track day in the ST. Dude, let me know when you're going. I will come with. 100% I'll come with. 100%. I'll bring the Subaru or something. I'll bring a Caterham or something. I'll figure it out. I can bring a few different cars down. GMK Stealth. Stealth, oh lordy. We'll see. 420 must win. Well, you guys have to vote for it. You guys get to pick. Chris got it this time. Thanks, Chris. Appreciate that. Guns gift, nice. Let me drive your car. Car, should I say? Yeah, I wouldn't take the classics on a track day because they cost too much money to fix. But I can 100% take you out, both of you, for a little drive and a little spin in something. Can't see the poll. The poll should be at the top. What am I 3D printing? It's a spaceship for a friend in pink. I do not have the points to rig this. Josh, come over here. I will 100% take you out as well. I'm not sure what other cars Timo has. Coffee check. The coffee's dead now. I don't know what the roast is. I can't remember. I did look before I started the stream, but I can't remember. I knew it was a spaceship. It is a spaceship in pink. Because everyone loves a pink spaceship. Can someone send me some decaf? Yes. Josh, I will send you some decaf tomorrow. I'll send you some has-been decafs. Just need a new intercooler. Got a little bit toasty on track last time. Yeah, just like leave a lap of cool down in between. That's the answer to that one. Yeah, I'll send you some tomorrow, Josh. I'll send you some tomorrow. I'll buy you some coffee, don't worry. Can't have my staff going without coffee. 100% can't have staff going without coffee. Okay, you've got about a minute left, guys. Get your votes in, because this is going to determine what is going on the board, whether it's Zooted or Stealth. Do I order my coffee from anywhere? So yeah, I use Dog and Hat most of the time, although we're going to stop using that and move to standard roast. Dog and Hat basically is a subscription service. I'm not advertising for them, it's just a thing. And basically they send me 3 or 4 coffees every month and we try them out here at the workshop. But the issue is like dialing in the coffee usually wastes like a couple of shots of espresso. By the time we've done that, we've like lost half the day and stuff. So I'm going to we're just going to have one coffee going forwards. I don't know what that's going to be yet. It's probably going to be a has-been roast, but basically the team that work here at the workshop are going to get to pick that tomorrow, and we're just going to order a kilo every week and we'll see how we get on. 35 psi. What 30? It can't be 35 psi. What? That sounds ridiculous. Turbo is 30. No. Can I bring my bike to the track day? Yeah, if you can keep up on a push bike, I'd be impressed. I know you don't have a push bike, I'm joking. That's ridiculous. Tim, that's ridiculous. Ridiculous. Right, okay, let's zoom in a little bit and then you guys can see how this board looks as we put some keycaps on it. Because I think it looks pretty good there. This is crying out for some infill. Maybe like a nice beige infill if we do put OG keycaps on this. In the end, right, okay, so I'm going to take out of the out of this kit, which is the international kit, the Nordic kit, the keycaps that we need for this. So we need, you know, just because I like it, we're going to use the Mu cap. We might use the Q cap as well. There's the 2 and the 3. And then we need that as well. We need the shift key out of here as well. That goes there. We need the apostrophe at key as well. There's that. And we need the hash. That might be in the base, actually. Is that in the base? The hash tilde, is that in the base? And where's the Q key? The Q at key. Oh, it's there, look. Keycaps are all over in this set. Okay, so I just really like the Q at and the M mu key. I think they're just two lovely keys, so we're just going to use those. I think that's all we need out of the international kit now. Pretty sure we don't need anything else. Oh, no, we do. We need the Angry Alt, the Alt GR. You're going to struggle to see that legend, but it does say Alt GR on it. I think that's it. That's all we need. Which means now we need the base kit for stealth. Any thoughts on keycaps to go with a Navy Zoom 65 V2 I've ordered with gold knob and gold plate? We've got tons of stuff in stock that would go well with that. Take a look on our in stock. I'm not really a fan of Cold Town roasters. Like, the coffee's alright, but it's never been my favourite. I've never been a huge fan of that. That's an $1,100 keyboard. Yeah, it probably is about that actually. 675-ish quid plus 135 quid. So we're talking £900 for that, plus GMK Stealth, plus an extra carbon fibre plate, plus the stabilizers, plus the switches. Probably is 1,100 quid, just in cost. Zooted on Navy. Yeah, Zooted would work. Okay. So. Here we go. Come on, there you go. Josh. Stealth. Yeah, this is GMK Stealth. It came out so good. Like, the bright lights of the stream are going to wash it out a little bit, so you're not going to be able to see, but it did come out really, really nice. I just like you, Josh, that's all. What's joshing? Exactly. Exactly, Perlin. I agree. What's joshing? You have forgotten the / pipe from the Nordic UK kit. Oh, I have. Yes, you're right. I missed that. How did I miss that? Thank you. What other colours did the bias come in? I can't remember now. I thought it was just black, or maybe I'm mistaken. Silver. Okay, thanks. So, it was just black then, really. No, silver's good colour. Yeah, I wanted it to be kind of understated and stuff. OG red bias, yeah, I would love one of those. Yeah, I kind of want this to look understated. It does look really good with the novelties, but I purposely didn't buy the novelties myself because I just think I like the look without. Like, I wanted it to be understated and dark and low contrast and all those things. Timeless look, yeah. I mean, TKLs always look classy, I think. Right, we need step caps from the other tray in a minute. Go with scooped F and J because scoops are cool. I prefer barred, but scoops are here, so we'll just go with those for now. Does the Zooted have UK ISO? Am I misremembering that? I'm gonna have to check that because I could have sworn it did. No, it doesn't. You're right. It doesn't. Yep. Yeah, we've got those. Okay, right, so we've got arrow keys here.
Tasty, tasty.
Mr. Gimp, thank you so much for the subscription. I appreciate that. Okay, gonna need the second tray from the bottom here. So for those of you who don't know, we get asked this quite a lot. There's actually a secondary tray just underneath all the new GMK sets, where some additional keys are stored, such as the stepped caps lock key that we need for here, the 7U spacebar, and then some of the other keys we need as well. And there we go, there we have it. That is Bion's Bias Group Buy Edition TKL with POM piano switches, a carbon fiber plate, TX stabilizers, and GMK Stealth as a key set. Now, I don't know about you guys, but I think this looks pretty damn stunning. I've just realised that the caps locks are darker black. I don't know if that's intentional or not, but it is. This looks pretty good. Looks so good. I love this little hip. Like this isn't two pieces, this is one piece. And as I turn it over, you'll see the light changes because there's a little hip on it. That's so nice. That is just such a nice little touch. The anodization is really nice. Should we see how it sounds? These are black. Sorry, the alpha is like a grayish color, like a dark gray. Should we see how she sounds? Let's pause the music. I'll take my headphones off so I can hear. Sounds pretty creamy.
Incredible.
Well, that sounds so good. That sounds so good. Those acoustic slots really work well. You can hear the difference in them. Spacebar's poppy, but nice. The mounting method is quite soft. Like, it's going to be difficult to show you here. Let me see if I can zoom in a little bit and show you this a little bit. Wrong way. There is like a little bit of flex there. It's not going to be easy to show you, but I promise you it's there. Like, if I do that, you can kind of see it is moving. But it's soft in a nice way. Like, that's just like a nice progression. It's not like a huge amount of flex. It's just a nice soft progression to the typing feel. On bottom out, that's nice. It's really nice. Just a soft bottom out, yeah. That sounds so good. Right, I'm really, really impressed with that. Like, thoroughly impressed with it. I can't wait to daily this for a week or two and see how it goes, because that's just super cool. It just looks stunning. I'm a little bit concerned about this keycap though. Like, the black is the same black, but it's just a different tone. Like, it's shinier. Like, it, I think Jim Cave replaced these molds recently, but they haven't replaced this one. So the keycap looks a bit off. I think as I use a keycap set, that'll wear in. But man, this looks good. I'll have to try and get some pictures in some decent light where you can see the actual legends. But it looks so good and it works so well. Made a spectacular keyboard and dipped. He's still in chat, I think. He hasn't dipped. He's still around. That sounds so good. Running a group buy is hard work. Yeah, I'm super happy with this. I think ultimately this board's going to end up with OG die subs on it. Like, that's going to be the plan. Put OG die subs on there. Probably going to infill the logo a little bit. Infill the logo on the rear. Did I show you guys the logo on the rear as well? There is a little Bion logo there as well, which is nice. Nice little touch. Yeah, I'm super happy with that. I'm super stoked with it. The step caps to stand out. I think it's just the texture on the keycap, because it's not present on any of the others. Like, the color is the same. It's just the texture on the keycap causing the light to bounce off it differently. Let's see if I can find the other keycap for caps lock. Like, if I put the other caps lock key at the side, you can see that that's also like the other mods. But yeah, so the color's the same. It's just the texture. And I suspect that what's happened is that Jim Cave refreshed some of their molds, which is why the texture's gone a little bit rougher on them and not others, which is just one of those things on these. I think once the set gets used a little bit, it'll wear in. It'll be fine. Coffee check. I don't actually know what coffee I'm drinking today, sorry guys, and I also finished it like an hour and a half ago, so I don't know. Beige looks good on everything, Gouts. Everything. A tinted Alice by Bion. That's an interesting thought. A tinted Alice by Bion. That'd be really cool. But I'm super stoked with how this looks. Look at that. It just looks so good. Or maybe we could leave this key set on here and we could do this orange to match the orange flash of the end set and the escape key. So you can see this, the caps looks much neater there. Like, it looks much better there. I think it's just the bright light's not helping. There we go. Super happy with that. They do sound better though. Yeah, no, I just like OG die subs. That's the thing. I think they look great. Yeah, Kruger. I'm gonna have to reach out to Bion and have a talk to him about some of his other boards, because they're really cool. And if he ever wants to work together on something, I'd love to, because I'm super happy with this. This is gonna go on my desk. It'll replace the Matrix board on my desk over there now. Matching numpad when, Bion, because I need a numpad. Like, just I spent half my life in spreadsheets, so a numpad would be great. But yeah, that's phenomenal. I'm super happy with the board. Would I change anything, I guess, is the real question. I think there's a couple of tiny little things for me. First one is when I'm putting the keycaps on the back, the board wants to rock. The reason for that is it pivots on the bump-ons,
and because of the slope at the back. Now this isn't going to be an issue in usage, but the bump-ons are probably too rounded. I think some nice flat feet, like the PT ones we designed for the JO2 would be really good for that, just to keep it nice and firm, and to not allow that pivot just there on that. It wouldn't give it a pivot point. Again, tiny things. Anything else I'd change about the board? I don't think so. I don't think there's anything else I'd change. Brass base would be nice, like just a as a personal thing. I just like a brass base, but yeah, I think a brass base would be pretty cool. Rano Bell has an unpad. It does, yes. Bion joins Jay and Josh to start the keyboard Avengers. Nice. Bion can replace me because I've been slacking. Josh, you're our in-house designer. Like, just because I work with someone else doesn't mean to say you're not our in-house designer. But yeah, that's really cool. What's that visible at the top of the 5 key that's reflecting light? The top of the 5 key? Oh, it's gone. It's the GMK packaging. It kind of gives off a dust. So because these keycaps are black, it really shows up. So yeah, it's just dust off of the GMK packaging. There's a tiny little bit that I've dropped just in there as well, if you can see. But now it's gone. I just need some compressed air to run over the keys, that's all. GMK Stealth is beautiful. No wonder it sold out so quickly. It is really good. Stealth is good. Josh gets demoted to moderator. Josh, no. No, it looks so good. I think I'm going to infill this in orange, like get an orange to match this, and just infill that orange. I think that just look great. Or maybe just do the B in the orange and the rest in like an off black. Yeah, something like that. I don't know. Would you show us how to infill next stream? Yeah, do you know what? So this is years and years ago. I actually streamed when the first Alice boards came out. I had a pink Alice, and I showed people how to infill on that stream. And then I wrote a guide for it on Top Clack. And then since then, it's kind of been this massive thing as infill. But I don't remember ever seeing it before I did that first stream, which would have been 2017, I think. It's still, if you search J Keebs on YouTube, you can see where I did it. It's like my really old janky stream setup after I just started streaming. And yeah, I infilled an Alice. I had a pink Alice at the time, and I built it with Nixie switches, the OG Nixie switches. Incredible. And I infilled it with white paint. So yeah, I can show you guys that at some point. Maybe we'll do it next week on stream if I can get the paints in time. Keep the plate as a gift for being an awesome and wholesome person. Oh, thanks, man. You can bill me for it. 100% bill me for it. Was this built with the foam? It was. Yeah, it does have the foam under it. Glossy black infill, we could do that. Yeah, we could. Has to do an infill guide update. Yeah, I could do, because I could also add in some of the other stuff we've done infill with, instead of it just being paints, which we used to do. I've also done like ceramic infills and stuff recently as well for other customers, so we could absolutely do that. You'll try to remind me. Thanks. Infill. So basically it's where you've got a logo and you make it a different color. So here you can see the logo is recessed into the case, so it's engraved into the case. You can fill in that engraving with a paint so that it fills in the gap effectively, the depth of it, and then it just makes it pop and shine a bit brighter. I don't have any examples to hand, but I also did a profit on stream as well a couple of years back, so yeah. You have 254 subscribers on JKeebs. I think a lot of people left after that just kind of died off. At its most, like JKeebs had something like 12,000 subscribers on YouTube or something like that, and they all left or something. But yeah, that's a long time ago now. When I first started in the hobby, when I first started streaming in the hobby, it's a very long time ago. But I'm super excited to use this board daily for a couple of weeks now. The real question will be, do I really think it's Jane Killer? That was a bit of boisterousness on the naming of the stream, but I think this is every bit as good as Jane. Like 100% is as good as Jane. Profit Guide was the one I saw back then. Yeah, it was a clickbait title, 100% a clickbait title. But honestly, I think it's just as good as a Jane. I'd be proud to have my Jane next to this. Like, I've got a couple of Janes, but I'd be proud to have them. He says he's got a couple. I can't actually find one. I'd be proud to have these two next to each other any day of the week. Is it a frog TKR killer? The frog's in a different price range, so I think it's a bit of a disambiguation to. It's a bit disingenuous, sorry, to do that. But 100%, look at that. It looks great next to it. I do prefer F13 overall, but the Jane's also slightly steeper. What's the angle on this? It must be like 6 degrees. Maybe 5 or 6 degrees, something like that on the Bion. This is definitely steeper. If I don't get an email from Monarchy for the Valentine's Jane right, I am praying that I get either the Jane or the 910 from that. But I have a couple of Janes, so I probably don't need them. Don't forget to authenticate your bias. Yes, I will do. I think I need the CD for that, right? So I'll have to wait until my my USB drive comes, which should be Tuesday. I think Amazon said it was going to be here on Tuesday. Something about F13's TKLs just look good. Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. If there was a F13 version of the bias, 100% I'd buy it. Despite 60%, but I'll instantly buy a 910 if I win. I do have a 910 here that I need to build. I don't know where it's gone, but I have the silver and blue 910 to match this. Because this is a silver and blue Jane to match this. But yes, what I might do actually is I might wait until next week's stream if I get the CD drive, and I will authenticate the board using the CD next week on stream. I will 100% do that on stream next week. I just can't today because I have no CD drive, but we can fix that next week. Bias is also 7 degrees. Is it? This it definitely doesn't feel as steep. Hold on. Is it just the angle that I'm holding my hands at? Oh yeah, okay. It was just the reach was changing it off. Yeah, okay, yeah. Let's put them side by side and we can see that. Too many keycaps like right now. This desk I bought because I thought would be big enough for build streams. Turns out it's not. Yeah, okay, so they're identical in terms of well, actually the Jane's slightly higher actually. There is slightly higher, but it isn't identical in terms of angle. I think it was just I was reaching more that made it feel like it wasn't. Don't worry about the free trial pop-ups until then. Is that a thing? Have you programmed that into it? If that's true, Bion, I would so just leave them on just for the sake of it. I would so leave them on just for the sake of it if that was true. I would sell my soul for the bias with F13. Nice. Yeah, I think I would as well. Wanted a TKL but need to save for JO2. JO2 is the 28th, guys. 28th. Blackout edition 50 units, SPC edition. If you're a subscriber and you're in our Discord, you get access to the SPC edition. I'm not going to tell you what SPC stands for, but if you join our Discord and you're a subscriber and you've got your Twitch and Discord linked, you will see what the SPC is. SPC edition is unlimited, but I think there'll be less of those overall anyway. But yeah, look out for those on the 28th. SPC will have a slightly different process, but you'll be announced in SPC announcements how that works. Solid plastic carrots, Super Person Club. Yeah, SPC rocket, 100%. The rockets are the best bit. Cool. Okay, guys, I'm super stoked that the build went so well. It's like Christmas today. I'm so excited to do that. Did I ever build a box 75? No, I have one, but I never actually built it. I found it when we moved workshops last year. I found a box 75. It's the prototype from Mike. I probably should send it back at some point. But I've never built it. It's unbuilt. It's in a box somewhere. In fact, I know where it is. It's up on top of my shelving units just there. But yeah, I do have a box 75, but I've never actually typed on it or built it. Back in the old Top Clack days, I think we got sent that. Sarah costs a mad amount, I swear. It does, but if you're in the UK, Pexon's going to offer the service soon. Remember, it's a lot of his time. It's 5 or 6 hours of his time, plus all the costs to do it and the machinery to do it. It's not a cheap process. Box 75, yeah. Jay knowing where an unbuilt keyboard is, shocker. All right, thanks, Adam, calling me out like that. I just have too many unbuilt keyboards around here. If anyone wants to come and have a look at my personal collection and maybe buy a keyboard off me, feel free to book a slot with Mel, and we can see if we can sort something out, because I do have too many keyboards. And you can have a look around the workshop and buy something. It's not 500 quid, no, it's less than that. It's probably about 300 quid, something like that. Maybe less. It depends on how much you need doing and how custom it is and whether the colour's in stock or whatever else. Is less than 300 quid. My Lottie Pony, can I book a slot with Mel? Sure. I'm sure she'd be down for that. Book a slot to buy a keyboard, yeah. But I'd just be visiting. You are more than welcome to visit anytime, Lottie. More than welcome. Maybe I will take the black bias. You would have to pay a lot of money to get that off me. Like, if you offer me less than 10 grand, I'm not going to say yes. Like, you'd have to offer me like serious amounts of money to get the bias off me. Like 10 grand. Like you would have to be talking like buy another car type money to get that board out of my hands now. Wait, is this a bidding war? 10 grand and a penny? Sure, we can take that. So the difference is Punk Shoe is in the US. You guys have a big gun culture, and guns get Cerakoted. So Cerakote shops are all over the place, and they're constantly doing things in different colors, and they have a whole process set up to work for it. In the UK, very few things are Cerakoted. There's like, it's mostly collectible things. So because of that, there isn't the gun culture. There isn't, which is what Cerakote was invented for. There isn't that kind of infrastructure here. So anyone who does it is kind of like doing it side of job, and they're doing 1 or 2 jobs a week or something like that. Or it's very small numbers until they get going, and it's just expensive because of a time perspective. Like if you're not an industry set up to do it, it's just going to be expensive. That's all it is. It's just literally the price of it. That's it. That's the aftermarket price now. I'm not sure I'm enough of a trendsetter to set the aftermarket price for it. So you all need specialists where I can just take it to the local gun shop and get you. Pretty much, yeah, pretty much. Another downside of gun control. I am not talking about gun control on a stream. That is just not happening. Sorry, guys. I'm not talking about that. But yeah, cool. Right. Thank you so much for watching, guys. It is time for me to head home now and get some sleep, because I've got to be back at the workshop in like 8 hours. So I need to go home and get some sleep. But I'm super stoked. Bion, thank you so much for dropping by on the stream today and letting me build this board on stream, and let me buy this board from you, because I'm super stoked for it. Aftermarket price is now set at 10 grand, so take that as you will. But yeah, sorry, I would just run out of time for marbles. It did take a little bit longer to build than I thought, and it's like 10:30 now, so no marbles this week. But I promise we'll play marbles next week, and we'll do a giveaway next week. But thank you so much for watching, guys. I'm going to head off home now. Watch out on Instagram for updates this week, because there's going to be a lot of them. And keep an eye out ready for the JO2 Blackout Edition, because it's not far away now at all. Take care, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Bye-bye.